Nerdrotic.com.
I had to find the button. Oh, look, you could see the intro. So you didn't see the underlay on that one. Always a mystery with StreamYards. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. You can tell I haven't had my coffee yet. Still waiting for it. Oh, shit. That's getting memed. Damn it. I wasn't supposed to cuss that early, too. Well, it's getting demonetized. Man, YouTube's nuts with that right now. I guess they're trying to fix it, but it's ridiculous. So, Shiza. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. I'll try to enunciate. I have streamed a lot in the last 48 hours. I'm a little out of gas right now. I was a bit of a streaming slut on Saturday, and it was fun. I was on Sporking and Flashcast, and then we did Forbidden Frontier last night, and I woke up about a half hour ago. So a lot of stuff going on. We are a little later in the show going to have Brittany Venti on to talk about Eliza Twitter Blue. See what's going on there. I think Podcast of the Lotus Eaters did a pretty good video on it this morning, and I watched it, kind of getting me up to speed. And we will discuss why it's important to even talk about this, because usually I stay out of this crap, but I think it's kind of up there with Jack Murphy. I talked about this a long time ago. This is absolutely nothing new. There is always going to be the clout chaser and all that stuff, but there's also going to be, and I'm not saying this is even related to Eliza, whatever her name is. I don't even know what her name is, but Eliza Blue. I don't think anybody knows. Once the winds of change start a blowing, you're going to see people go to the other side. You just got to watch out for that, because it's never good. It's never good, because it always benefits the machine, the uniparty, whatever you want to call them. So woke Hollywood is out of control as usual, and it's gotten to, I think we're in like peak woke right now. Well, we have to be. Well, I say that. I don't want to. In a lot of ways, I'm still naive. Velma not only hit a new low, they created one. They made one. Something happened to Mindy Kaling. I was trying to wait till the end of the series to go, am I going to do a review on it? Because I've watched every episode. I'll probably do something earlier and just be out at this point, because it's wow. And I could certainly see how people would think it's some kind of like, oh, they did it on purpose to lean into it, to kind of make fun of woke. No. I wish that was the case. This is how they really feel. And I mentioned it in my last video. You know, Kevin Feige said he would like to prioritize entertainment over the message. Well, that's just BS. That's just him spouting out words that he doesn't mean at all. These things called lies. And they're going to continue doing what they're doing. Just look at what they're making. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. Let's see who's here. Mila, how are you? Smooth the DJ, Jamalama, Andrew Stewart, David Moore, Keith Bradbury. Any relation to Ray? Lord Thoth, Kane. Where's your brother? Saka. Jen Anderson's of the Tory, the elusive fan, and Tennessee Tism. There's a lot of tism. You know what? And weaponized tism. I'm still getting used to my new table here. It's not quite ready yet. My microphone arm won't fit on it, so I got to use one of these. I don't like them. Yeah, lots of tism on the internet, and when it's weaponized, it's such a good thing. It really is. It really is. So Zachary Levi, I don't know why he did this. I don't know why, but I'm okay with it. Talked about Pfizer, because somebody mentioned this in my reply, because here I'll show you the tweet. We'll get the context before I get ahead of myself. Again, this is pre-caffeine, so look at that cool shirt. Shazam, Fury the God star Zachary Levi, hardcore agrees pharmaceutical corporation Pfizer is a danger. I don't think that's a kind of a radical belief, do you? A for-profit, and I'm not in the socialized medicine. I have no answer for that, but I just know that these guys are evil incarnate and have been. Pfizer settled the oh my God. Yeah, I really should use Brave. But they settled the it's the biggest fraud settlement in history, which Zachary pointed out. And everybody hated Pfizer 10 years ago. But now they've got like the biggest simps, the biggest fans. The biggest fans. I don't care if you got the jab or not. I have my own beliefs about the jab. I think you're crazy if you got it now. I think back then, people were trying to do the right thing, and it sucks how it turned out. But I think with the information we have now, although as Tim Pool likes to say, I'm not a doctor. He's not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. But I visited one or two. And however you feel about it, I don't think this is a radical belief at all. As a matter of fact, I think he's stating really basic truth. Celebrities bask in using their platforms granted by fame to promote causes and advocate for other things, good and bad. Notwithstanding their knowledge or experience, the latest to take a stand is Shazam's actor Zachary Levi, but there's an intriguing twist. He's coming forward with his skepticism and caution about the big pharmaceutical company Pfizer. The one that makes opioids. I'm sure you've seen all the videos on that one street in Philadelphia. There's a kid who walks around like Market Street, the Tenderloin, and 6th Street in San Francisco, all areas I'm familiar with that are just terrible. There's Skid Row in LA. There's parts of San Diego now where, it did exist, but not to the level it does now. I'm sure it's in an American city near you. That's all sponsored by Pfizer and the others. Quoting and replying to tweet Sunday by self-styled investigative guru Lyndon Wood asking, do you agree or not that Pfizer is a real danger to the world? Levi responded with hardcore agree, accompanied by a neutral face emoji. So far, his post has over 11 million views and received the support of EVS, who tweeted back, yeah, brother. Hardcore agree. Levi later posted a follow-up with the caption, just one example of what I'm referring to. The second tweet contained a link to the Justice Department article concerning a $2.3 billion settlement Pfizer paid for fraudulent marketing and illegal promotion of certain products. However, the rub is that Levi's link covers a pre-pandemic case from 2009. This is true. And let's keep in mind, I'm going off of memory, so if I get stuff wrong, then it's just all my opinion, lawyers. Well, I heard this again, but this is speculation. Pfizer and other companies were paying doctors and not outright saying, hey, overprescribe, but going, if you prescribe a lot of this, we'll get you a vacation. We'll get you a dinner. We'll do all these nice things for you. And they hooked everybody on like really dangerous pain medications, which has cost a lot of lives. And now we have 85-year-old junkies, 75-year-old junkies, and 15-year-old junkies And when that runs out, when the prescription runs out, because it eventually does, then they have to find other means. And those other means are booming right now, being shuttled through our southern border. Although it doesn't and believe me, after the pandemic, and I talked about this during the pandemic. Remember when we couldn't even say shit like that? You couldn't say COVID or pandemic on YouTube. How lame. We talked about how the relapse, I mean, this is just an estimate. They don't really know. The relapse rate in AA and NA was 60%. It was just nuts. Nobody could go to meetings. Nobody could go to even rehabs, which I'm not like in total love with, but yeah, but they're heroes now because they came out with I can't even, I mean, people like, he's anti-vaxxer. It's not a vaccine. Oh, wait, they changed the definition. My bad. Although it doesn't rebound well to the company's reputation, it doesn't redound well back to the company's reputation and proves a case history of fraud. Some are pointing out that this link is old, so old it corresponds to the point that Levi's career, where he is well known for the MV series Chuck and other TV roles. It would be another 5 years before he made a short-lived jump to the MCU. It's also clear Levi is walking a fine line here while he is expressing apprehension about one of the major drug companies, a leading manufacturer of mRNA vaccines, and their honesty. The actor hasn't explicitly come out against the shots, mandated or otherwise. If he is anti-vaccine, as they say, it's a perspective he has been quiet about until now and can only be a suspicion. I agree. I mean, we can talk briefly about Shazam. Doesn't look very exciting to me. Looks pretty DOA. And I think James Gunn is just going to be quiet about all these movies until they're done. And then they're going to, we're just going to go in a different direction, except with Ezra Miller, probably. I don't know. But nobody really knows. There's a lot of scoopers doing stuff out there. I think we'll get some news on the DCU soon. And I don't know. We'll have to see after the announcement if there's even going to be like that much excitement. That isn't stopping Twitter from being suspicious and reappraising past Of course, the reappraising will commence. Levi made on Joe Rogan's podcast that were positive towards Jordan Peterson. He is likewise an avowed man of faith, which is enough of a stumbling block for a certain segment of the movie-going population that is leery of people, entertainers, and civilians alike, strictly on that basis. I think it's called bigotry. John, I don't think John wrote this. Religious people are conscientious objectors, even in the medical field, to some versions of the vaccine. The mandating it can be that it be taken or else, as some brands are allegedly creating using cells and parts from deleted younglings, we'll just say. Levi could be one individual, or at least has the mind when forming his opinion about Pfizer and their products. Yeah, like when I saw his tweet, I said, "Here come the Pfizer simps," right below it, and then somebody responded going, "Isn't it weird that everybody hated Pfizer until recently?" And I'm like, it's strange, isn't it? It's so strange. It's my side rooted for Pfizer, so I must root for my side that was chosen for me by people who don't care about me, who will use my identity, my skin color for their own personal gain to benefit the uniparty. Suckers, man. That's it. It's sad, but that's what it is. What ramifications these tweets and the Joe Rogan clip might have on Levi's job as the big screen's OG Captain Marvel, I think we know the answer already. With his next movie on the horizon isn't clear yet, but there is a case study in how Warner Brothers handled former Mary Marvel actress Michelle Borth's transient Instagram comment about the January 6th Capitol incident involving shooting victim Ashley Babbitt. Yeah, she was replaced. She was replaced, but it had nothing to do with my January 6th. Oh, you know, what was the happiest people about January 6th is manufacturers of tiki torches. They were stoked. They were like, oh, God, they'll stop talking about the tiki torches now. Oh, boy. Oh, well, you know, good for him for like, water's wet, the sky's blue, Pfizer's evil. And people are like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's because if it is, then I would be wrong. And I can't be wrong. I'm a good guy. I have a Ukrainian flag in my bio. I can't be wrong. Oh, all those actors back in Ukraine, just ask them over and over again. Is Taiwan a country? Oh my goodness. So I'm going to get to some of your questions here once I figure out where they are. Again, still waiting on my coffee. I might have to ditch for a second to go get it. It'll make for a better show. I've had my pre-coffee coffee, but not my regular cup. Oh, yeah, Chris is right. X-Ray Girl needs to make hardcore agree shirts. What do you think, X-Ray Girl? That's a good idea. Brian for $25 says Velma makes Scrappy Doo much more tolerable. Yeah, Scrappy's. What are they going to do to Scrappy? I thought it was funny in the movie. They made him the villain. I thought that was pretty funny. Not bad. Not bad. No. I guess I don't want to talk about it too much. I'm going to try to do something a little bit different with my video because like it's been a minute since I reviewed something, but something hasn't come out yet. We got Ant-Man coming. Going to review that. Going to review. I'm seeing freaking Picard all the way through. Okay. And I know a lot of people are excited, and that's good. That's good. That's good. I like Dave. Before we even get to that, Dave Cullen had, I think, the most reasonable approach to it, which is definitely what I'm going to do. It's the same thing I did with House of the Dragon. I went in the House of the Dragon going, this is going to be shit. And it was good. But by the end of it, people, you know, not that anybody cares about my recommendation, but I'm not going to sit there and go, I'll go back and watch Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones and you just want to watch House of the Dragon, you're much better off that way. Game of Thrones still ends badly. It's terrible. It's hard to recommend, and we still need to kind of see a season 2, but I like season 1. Dave Cullen pretty much said what a lot of us have said. Hail Dave Cullen, by the way. I owe that guy a lot. He gave me a shout out back when I was a little itty bitty channel, and it really helped. So thanks, Dave. Love you, Ginge. No, but he put out a video going, listen, I'm going to review it, and even if I like it, I can't give this thing like a solid endorsement. Like, this season will be fine, but it doesn't make up for Star Trek Discovery season 1 through 5 and you know, Picard season 1 and 2, which are all heavily controlled by Kurtzman. You know, but we're seeing, it might not be enough for some people, but we are seeing some change, some efforts to maybe, you know, make things more palatable for everyone instead of 6% of your audience. And I'm estimating high, but that's the current audience score of Velma. And I think that's that's the amount of the world the show is for. Or no, I'm sorry, the amount of Hollywood. It probably goes down to like 0.25% when it comes to the world, to be honest with you. My math isn't good, and X-Ray Girl, you know, she's in the back, but she can't help me with like immediate math right now. What'd she say? You know what you should have said? She said, X-Ray Girl, I said you should make a shirt, or Chris Gore said it. that says hardcore agree. And she goes, I'm already in the works. It's already in the works. But you should have said hardcore agree. That's what you should have said, X-Ray Girl. That's what you should have said. But yeah, we're seeing things turn around. But Velma is like a whole different thing. So I'm not going to review it. Like, who gives a crap? The plot is some girls are getting murdered, then brains are being scraped out of their heads, and you can preserve the brain. Or it doesn't matter, because the plot of it is Mindy Kaling working out her personal issues in a script, saving herself a few bucks to therapy, which I'm sure she goes to multiple therapists. And you got to wonder. I mean, like, no, you don't have to wonder. I know how people are treated in Hollywood, and it creates this. And to put it in a nutshell, to oversimplify it a little bit, there's no friends there. You have no friends. There is somebody ready to put a dagger right between your shoulder blades, metaphorically and occasionally for real, at any moment there, that could pretend to be your best friend. So there's no trust. You're on your guard all the time. It's a prison of their own making. So they all pretend to be super. I just love this person. They're so creative. And then once they get behind closed doors, that bitch, there's a lot of that, and drugs. Rupert Patterson for $8.99. Listen to Back in Black, and the line, looking at the sky because it's getting me high, reminds me of you being released from prison. Also, let loose from the noose that kept me hanging around. I listened to that a lot when I was in the joint. But the song that, like, there was a couple of songs that I was listening to on I did the Home theme on my way back. But I did I'm Free from The Who and Ozzy. Mama, I'm coming home. Yeah, it was pretty epic. Then I went to Denny's and had the best breakfast of my life. That was a long time ago, man. I'll never forget that day, though. Jake the Movie Geek for $4.99. Velma goes far beyond wokeness. I'm actually sus of anyone defending the show. I would be too. They should go on a watch list, kind of like Cuties. We know there's a couple of big cute, like one of them's like literally big cutie fans out there. Derek PG Beller for $4.99. Ever get into CinemaSins channel? I was a fan for years until they started being woke Hollywood parrots in their sin videos. Yeah, I mean, I occasionally watched it and I saw them going down that road, and it's like, why? Like the pitch meeting hasn't necessarily done that. The pitch meeting's actually done a really good job taking a lot of our talking points and putting them into really concise pitch meetings that are entertaining as hell. So I love it. But yeah, Red Letter Media has avoided that. They've always been real. They're still like gold standard, on YouTube. But so many didn't, and that's why we're here. And I think it's kind of I can't say microcosm, but it's an example of what could be happening to Hollywood. So you saw the entertainment channels here, and this is just when I jumped in. I have no idea what happened before like 2010, right? But there was the Colliders, and they created the Geeks and Gamers and other channels, which fragmented out to like there's thousands of them now. There's got to be, or 1,000. We'll say 1,000. Varying degrees of subs. It doesn't matter. But you guys, there's a hardcore audience that jumps around from that probably used to watch Campia all the time, or maybe still does. I don't know, and watch Collider, but they're looking for authenticity. Dad's Den of Pop Culture for $10. I think it's avoidance of therapy, hating rather than coming to terms with life. They did this in the 2000s movies when they wrecked Daphne and Fred because they were popular types. And that was like light compared to that. Yeah, I mean, when you have a writer who isn't very talented, the go-to is themselves. That's why fan fiction is heavy with self-inserts, because, well, you write what you know, and if you're a narcissist who hasn't really experienced much in the world, you write about yourself. The other easy one to go to is basic bitch politics of the day, topical stuff that used to be part of the the procedural show on network, and now has infused itself into things like Star Trek. Kurtzman's a great example. He's like a network dude. He used to get coffee for Raimi, on Xena. Crossed the picket lines during the last strike. Honestly, I could give a shit, but and had a writing partner that, I mean, wasn't great, but was better than Kurtzman, and got rid of him. And now Kurtzman's running Star Trek because he hung out with Jar Jar Abrams. Has no fucking idea what he's doing. Doesn't know anything about Star Trek. Can't write Star Trek. So what does he do? Let's make it Star Wars and actiony and topical and blah, blah, blah. And the Star Trek was always topical. Yes, it was. It was. It also spoke to the entire audience. There was never a division. The only division was jocks thought Star Trek fans were complete and total nerds, and they were right, by the way. And we, Star Trek nerds, were completely fine with it. We loved our fucking show. That was the only divide back in the day. People on the right, people on the left, anarchists, libertarians, all love Star Trek. Taker 610 for $2. The Nerdrotic channel is not safe for work unless you're WFH. Thank you, Taker 610. JK Skult. It jumped on me. I wonder if I think my coffee's here. How exciting. Salty Army checking in. Love your channel. Hail, Salty Army. With the re. God, I need my coffee. Hail, Salty Army. How's he doing? Hope he's doing good. I catch his videos on Rumble. I don't even watch them on YouTube. Salty and Mrs. Salty, all the best to them, and the Salty Army. The Grizzly for $20. You know what I find funny? Universal eating Disney's lunch, not only in the parks, but apparently in the movies as well. They outperformed Disney in animation 3 years in a row. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's absolutely wonderful. I love everything about that. Disney deserves every black eye it gets. It does. And when I was in Orlando, like, there was no FOMO or anything. I was like, I don't feel the need to go to Disneyland. I have no desire to go. Disney World, and that was my first opportunity to go there. I'll never go there, ever. I'll never set foot in that place. I'll never go back to Disneyland. That was part of my childhood. That was the only part of Disney I actually liked. Universal was great. You could spend a week there. All right. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to grab my coffee. Let me see if it's here. Un momento. I wish I could play. Can I play some music? Oh, yeah. There you go. Back. That was really. Don't expect a professional operation here. Just don't. All right. All right. So Velma, where I was on Velma. Velma is unique in like it's like a pop song with too many hooks. They get so many woke statements in and identity politics based statements in like in a 5-minute period. It gives you whiplash. Give you freaking whiplash. So I was kind of like done after like the 4th episode, but I'm like, oh my God, I made everybody watch it. So I'm going to see it through. And it got worse in the 6th episode. Disparu is going to have an aneurysm. Poor kid. So young. We don't want to lose him that young. We really don't. But yeah, Velma does do a pole dance for her dad. But my favorite line is when they figure out who's scooping the brains out. And what it is you're still the brain. It's a way of preserving the brain. Who gives a shit, right? They find out who's scooping the brains out. It is a female scientist of color. And Mindy Kaling, I can't even say Velma. It's Mindy Kaling goes, well, that's some white people shit. And that was like her 3rd crack on white people, like referred to as the white people in one episode. I mean, I lost count for the show. It's got to be up to 10. It's got to be up to 10. Like we could do a top 10 woke statement like per episode. Actually, we could break it down. The only bad part is going to be watching it again. That's going to be the only bad part. Again, Brittany Venti will be joining us in 16 minutes to break down the sad case of Twitter not really changing that much. Not really changing that much when it comes to certain things. And this is for Elon because I know he's watching. He watches all the time. Elon, never put the pussy on a pedestal. Okay? Just don't. Dexy's Kessel Runners for $20. Do you hear that Disney has basically stolen Shane Davis's Starlight Cats and turned it into a cartoon called Super Kitties? Similar logo, same 4 cats in shape and gender, all with gems and different colors, same as his comics. No, he just sent me that comic too. Are you surprised? This isn't even the first time they've been busted for something like that. It happens all the time. So I hope he, need a good lawyer. But even when they outright prove it, because I mean, it happens. It's a daily occurrence in Hollywood, right? But even when they've got somebody just dead to rights, it usually gets settled. And that person who stole the material will get, for example, promoted to CEO at Warner Brothers. And his last name will rhyme with Femerick. And his first name rhymes with Bobby. And the film, I can't remember. It had something to do with Dennis Quaid and Frequency. Smooth the DJ has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Toby's fired now, as he should be. Fucking piece of shit. That's just my opinion. It's all opinions. It's all opinion. I don't know anything. That sucks for Shane. I hope he. Well, I mean, it's Disney, Shane. So I would ride this. I would ride this to get your comic out there And if he could prove it, that they're thieves, that'd be great for his comic, to be honest with you. I mean, it's Disney, so it'll be forgotten or canceled within a year or two. But I would take full advantage of it, especially if they did steal it. Nicole Sai for 100 Indian pesos. Indian government rejected Pfizer shot 15 times costlier than Indian one. Holy shit. And media started attacking ruling party. Looks like Pfizer loves to suck money. Yes. Yeah. And they've got a real bad rep in your country for good reason. Very good reason. Royal Raptor 499. Gary, he said that because people are getting tired of pretending. They just like communism in Soviet Russia. Eventually, everyone just gets tired of pretending. They do. I mean, you find that out on YouTube a lot. When you stream for any long period of time, make videos, or you're out there in the public and you're being something you're not, unless you're a complete sociopath, narcissist, which you know there is the cases once in a while. You do get tired of living the lie, as they say. Razor burn for $5. Just look at Boulder Boy. Gary, any advice to give to an alcoholic trying to quit? Razor burn for $5. Talk to somebody. I know it sounds lame, but just start the conversation. I wouldn't put any pressure on you to get it all figured out in one day. Maybe try a meeting, or you can, I would talk to a family member, and then, there's the helpline on AA. Sometimes, it's all volunteer, and I'll be real with you. Sometimes you get somebody good, sometimes you don't, but it's worth a try. If you are serious, because look at it this way. I don't want to make you feel bad, but like drunk driving is pretty bad. And, you don't want to hurt yourself or anybody else. You don't. Mark Wilkins for $5. Fear can be a motivator too. Okay. I don't want to scare you to death, but it could be a motivator too. Mark Wilkins for $5. Whatever happened to the anti-big pharma left? They never were. I'll tell you right now, the anti-big pharma left thought all the pharma was a bunch of Republicans. That's what they thought. So they were just anti-Republican, because the far, far crazy left is just anti-Republican. Republicans could say, you know what? We're down with climate change. We want to get all the CO2 levels down. They'd be all bullshit. CO2 stupid. So, which I don't believe, by the way. It was just an example. I mean, the Pfizer example is almost as nutty as that. Joe Biden's dilated sphincter. Thank you for the $9.99. Drizix, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got to go to my Discord. We're going to talk about Doctor Who. So Zachary Levi was almost canceled. We'll get to Doctor Who. Zachary Levi was almost canceled. I don't think he is yet, but maybe. I can't even think of what Taika Waititi got canceled for. He should be canceled for Thor: Love and Thunder, if anything. And Mark Hamill liked a tweet from J.K. Rowling and had to like bend the knee, suck the knob, do whatever. And like, I no sympathy for any of these people. You know what? The people who are rooting for Gina's cancellation, when they get canceled, it's just like, how does that feel? Wow. Karma. It's real. Chuck was a great show. Matthew Hammond for $5. It did a great job of describing big box retailer and nerd culture. Zachary Levi, Adam Baldwin, and Yvonne Stravinsky were great leads in the show. Yeah, I like Chuck. I did. Thought it was good. It was in that era where things were good. Gary, if you look at society, it acts as a drug addict. Society will ignore the problem and keep going until the problem gets too big to ignore. Example, money collapse and lots of bodies. Thoughts? Roy Raptor for $9.99. That's just human nature. It is in a lot of cases. Then there are groups of people who see this stuff coming, and they're called heretics, and they are shamed. And they might be not. Sometimes they might not be the best at communicating it, but we're out here, and we're competing against people who get all of their news. This is not new. All the news agencies get their news from the AP or Reuters, which are state-sponsored official version of events. They've been repeating that. I mean, this isn't new. This has been going on since news was a thing. It's just us crazy conspiracy UFO guys who were talking about it 30 years ago aren't so crazy anymore, are we? Lee Woodcock for $10. Have you heard of Rogue Heroes? Great show made by Peaky Blinders guy about the founding of the SAS in WW2. As a bunch of white guys being heroes, can't believe the show was made in 2022. No, I have to look at that. Okay, I'm going to get to Discord real quick. And usually, I'm a little prepared. Like, I'll have my articles up, but today I just kind of rolled out of bed. Where did it go? It's not in the Nooner. Maybe it's in research. There we go. All right, a couple things with Russell T. Davies. We did get confirmation. I know what people have talked about it, but like we got confirmation that Doctor Who was canceled. It was canceled. I do believe somebody was talking about that about a year ago. No, 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. And that was me. And other people. But I, not a scooper guy, but I knew somebody who worked with Doctor Who was telling me things that I could not believe. And that's why I was making videos on it. That's how I got here. And he was all, yep, they're going to turn the Doctor into a girl. It's just going to be political as hell. They're going to retcon the origin because it's not enough to turn the Doctor into a girl. They want it to stick. They want it to mean something. So they're going to retcon the origin. And then, after a couple seasons, they're not happy with the way things are going. They're losing money like crazy, but there's nothing they can do. And quite frankly, the people in charge think the audience is a bunch of Nazis and they think they're right. So they weren't even on the precipice of thinking like it's our fault. Then the ratings absolutely cratered and they were forced to reassess, especially with the loss of so much money in TV licenses. And they're like, you know what? This show's expensive. We should just cancel it at this point. And it wasn't until Russell T. Davies coming in and other people paying for it that saved the show. But this is from Telegram. Not sure what to make of this because Russell T. Davies has said some really woke, crazy shit too, including on the red carpet of the BAFTAs last year when they announced Ncuti Gatwa. He said some crazy shit. Said, I'm going to lean into the politics like crazy. So you saw me I did a live stream and I was like a little hopeful. I was like, maybe they'll turn things around. Then I heard that and I'm like, never mind. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not, the BBC and Hollywood do not deserve anybody's benefit of the doubt. Russell T. Davies lambasts diversity fixation of rubbish new TV writers. Here, I'll share this with you guys. Sorry. There we go. I agree with that. All of that. Doctor Who showrunner says latest generation of screenwriters don't actually love television and don't know how to write for it. Well, but is he going to go, I'll show him how to woke? Oh, do I need a free trial? I can't look at this. Here, maybe. Hang on a second. I'll archive it. No thanks. Here, I'm going to try to find a alternate to this. Give me just a moment.
Lady G did pop another article, which I put in the
Put it in private.
chat.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, it's bounding. Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you. See? That's why they make the big bucks. No, that's not the other article. That's the old article. Here. I got this. I got it. That's an old bounding article that I put in there. What you want to try to find is archives of because everybody wants you to freaking sign up for that, and I'm not signing up for the Telegraph for shit. But there's usually a mirror that I can't get now. Let's try this. Sorry for making you wait there. There it is. Got it. All right. Russell T. Davies has slammed a new wave of screenwriters as rubbish, claiming they can do their job properly because they don't actually love television. It's a sin queer as folk and years. Writer is launching a new drama, Nolly, at ITV and returning to the BBC's Doctor Who later this year, which it's not the BBC's Doctor Who anymore. Now, is it? But according to the Telegraph, he has been unimpressed by a new crop of TV writers who he says are more interested in diversity than writing great series. God, that outfit, man. Davies said, I do a lot of mentoring, and there are voices wanting to be heard of any gender or ethnicity who consider themselves invisible. They hate the media that ignores them, and they're trapped into wanting a job in the medium purely to increase representation. I read their scripts and they're rubbish. They don't actually love television. They don't know how to write for it. That sounds a little familiar. I'm sorry. He is not the only creative to share his worries about the quality of up-and-coming screenwriters. Actor and writer Mark Gatiss, who also stars in Nolly, told Sunday Times, "Sometimes I think I'm the Pollyanna because I've met so many people over the years who hate making television. It seems to make them so miserable. Go and work on the bins or something. It's hard work. It gives you ulcers, so you don't have to love it." Davies' latest series, Nolly, stars Helen Bonham Carter. Don't really care. But yeah. So these are two veteran writers. Both happen to be gay men. That shouldn't matter, and doesn't in a lot of their stuff. Now, Mark Gatiss's Doctor Who episodes are not my favorite. I'll say that right now. They are not my favorite. But Russell in the past has been able to write brilliantly. I'm not sure now. And if it doesn't work this time, it won't. It won't. Doctor Who will be dead for a good long time. And even with David Tennant coming back at the end, which wasn't planned because it was canceled, it didn't have the impact that they thought it would. The ratings were still incredibly low. Now, that's probably because most of the episode had Jodie in it. But dude, like the 8th Doctor came back. That was great. Paul McGann, Sylvester McCoy. Couple, like the entire Jodie era in that final episode, there was like 2 5-second scenes that were really good that didn't have Jodie in them. That hell, the old Doctors. But other than that, it was shit. And this is proof that it was. So all that time they were telling us we were racist and this and phobes. Quietly, they were completely agreeing with us. Just wanted to let you know. And a similar thing might be happening with Star Trek. Star Wars, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up with anything involved with Disney. But yeah, There certainly is. You know what helps bring on change, though? Things like Velma. Things like Velma. Acceleration. I'm all for it. I want Velma to get 5 seasons. I don't care. That will drive this shit into the ground and pulverize it into dust, kind of like they've done with our beloved IPs. So, yeah, karma. And good for Russell saying something again. This isn't groundbreaking. This isn't controversial. There are people who are being allowed in the entertainment industry for their identity and their politics and their skin color and their junk, or the junk that they chopped off, or where they like to put their junk, and has nothing to do with art or television. It has everything to do with programming you and me. And wow, so maybe he's gotten back into the genre space and went, holy shit. I was calling all those people Nazis and bigots, and fuck, they were right. Damn it. You know, that's what were we talking about earlier? People don't like to be wrong. My philosophy on that is, well, just make enough mistakes and it becomes okay. It becomes okay. I mean, like, I would love for Doctor Who to be good. That would make me very happy. But there's one thing that needs to happen, and it cannot be ignored. And you know what I'm gonna say: Timeless Children has got to go, and it's got to go in the first hour of the first episode. It's got to be gone. And I don't care if it's a David Tennant going, "Oh, that rubbish about me being a little black girl abandoned on a portal. It was a fever dream that the master implanted into the Matrix when he was high on Time Lord ayahuasca." Like, what, however you explain it, just, you have to. You can't ignore it. Nope. So the next Doctor Who we're getting is in November. We're getting 3 episodes. 3 episodes for the 60th anniversary. And there are going to be some surprising cameos, I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, though. So don't quote me on that. Hey, we have a guest. So let me get rid of this and this. I don't need too many windows. There we go. Hey.
Hello.
What's up?
Good morning, or wait, afternoon.
It's morning for us, for YouTubers. It's YouTuber morning.
Yeah, I also have my coffee here that I made.
I'm sorry I'm drinking the shit, but I don't care. It's caffeinated, and it keeps me awake.
What kind of coffee are you drinking?
I'm drinking the kind you hate, Starbucks. I'm a basic
No,
bitch.
I like Starbucks. Here's the problem. It's the baristas. So I actually figured out. So me and Sean were out at Starbucks one time, and we came to the realization that it depends on if the barista, how many of them have colored hair, like brightly colored hair.
Oh yeah.
And how many of them have piercings is the exact, it's an exact proportion to how many things they have in stock. Like, cause you ever notice like, oh, they're always out of stock of the thing you want. And it also shows how well the service is going to go. So if you go there and there's like nobody with piercings or like bright blue hair, they will have everything in stock and the service will go great and the drinks will taste great. But if there's people there with bright color hair and piercings, they're always out of everything you want. They're not particularly that nice when they service you. And then they make the drink wrong.
Sounds like a brilliant scientific study that I would completely buy, by the way. I'm down with that theory.
They need to fund this study.
They
like
should.
Colored hair people. There's actually a TikTok trend about this. So there's girls who like really coloring their hair a lot, so they change their hair color a lot. And then these same girls, they went on TikTok, and I watched like 5 of them. They all said the same thing. They said when they have bright colored hair, men don't approach them But any other hair color that's natural, men will approach them to varying degrees. Blonde gets you the most attention, but like the lowest quality. Brunette is like the neutral, and then red is like a combo between brown and blonde in terms of attention. But bright colored hair, they said like men basically ignored them, which
Well,
I
it's
thought
like
was funny.
it's like bright colors in the jungle. They're dangerous. You need to walk away.
Yeah, Melissa knew the word for that. I forgot it already.
She did.
When it's
I
like
don't
they're
know.
bright and dangerous.
Bright and dangerous.
Someone
Bright
chat
colored
on
and
that.
dangerous. Not bright. Not bright. So hey, I watched Podcast of the Lotus Eaters did a video this morning on the whole Eliza Blue thing.
Oh, they
viewing
did?
it towards the end. Yeah. Chrissy's
that.
mentioned, Quartering's mentioned. Yeah, it's a very British. Let's see what's going on here. We don't want to be libelous, but they were great. They were fantastic. Breakdown of it, and I've been somewhat paying attention. But this thing is getting nuts because what I'm more concerned about is the censorship on Twitter. That's my concern, because it just seems like it's just the old Twitter again now. It's almost acting like ever since you guys got taken off, like other people have been taken off for stupid reasons, and it just feels like Twitter from 5 months ago already again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still locked out of my account. I saw Quartering is able to access the account. I didn't have time to get in a call with him before I hopped on here, but I think he deleted the tweets because my account's still locked. So I'm gonna call him after this and see what's up with that, because I'm not. But he posted a update thread. He like came back and chose violence. It's just like
really
a long,
okay.
Yeah. Pull it up. It's like a long, in-depth, concise thread. He came to kill.
Excellent. I like that. Oh, wait, why not? At this point, it's like I got my hopes up a little bit about Twitter, but I could live without it completely. I'll be fine. Especially now that a lot of the videos are getting he did.
And I just got an email that DeFango, the guy who created the initial thread about Eliza that I tweeted at her, that led to her getting my account locked, her and her goon bestie Amanda Jean, he just got his account nuked. I just got an email about it, DeFango. So I wonder if Quartering's going to get nuked for the same thing, because if DeFango just got nuked for posting that thread, I wonder if they'll do the same thing to Quartering, or if they're too scared to.
I think this is a smart move. So I guess for this audience, would you like to briefly, as you can, bring us up to speed on like how we got here?
Okay, so basically, for those of you who know Jack Murphy, this is Jack Murphy 2.0 in combination with the Streisand effect. And some people have even called it Don't Fuck with Cats 2.0. So basically, I tweeted Eliza Blue because people were coming to me concerned, because I've covered things like trafficking, anti-porn, and studying into prostitution, things like that, in order to bring awareness and also help my position on it and to be more well-informed. So people were DMing me because of that, like, hey, this other trafficking advocate is, her timelines aren't adding up. And there's things here that are strange. And we think that she's a fraud. We think that she's a grifter. And, normally we hear that about everyone all the time as YouTubers, like, your friend is a grifter, this, and that. So, normally we just kind of like brush it to the side. And that brushing to the side is exactly why Eliza got away with this for so long. So I looked into it because they came at me with the receipts this time. They gave me the thread from DeFango, who's now, I guess, suspended off of Twitter. And they also gave me a few music videos and gave me some concise points. And I was like, okay, well, I'll look into this. You made it really easy. So I looked into it briefly and I was like, okay, this is a red flag. This is very strange for a sex trafficking advocate to say that she was trafficked. And then you see all these music videos of her dancing around in lingerie, cupping her ass with her see-through top. And it's like, she's saying, I was trafficked. And that's really strange behavior coming from a trafficking victim. Like, sure, maybe some victims will cope in a certain way, but things were looking really strange. And so I was like, well, I don't know, maybe like, is this her getting trafficked? I'm like really confused because this video has been up 6 years with thousands of views, public on YouTube, no age restriction. And it was also on World Hip Hop. World Star, and for the same amount of time, and had 500,000 views. So basically I tweeted her with screenshots from this music video, and I hesitate to call it a rap music video because that's not actually what it is, in my opinion, now that I've gone through all of the receipts and all of the things that people have been sending me. Because in the rap music video, air quote, there's a guy rapping, right? But he's not listed anywhere. He's not like in the title or anything. It's like all about her. It's called like Eye Candy Eliza Knows. Eliza Knows was her old name. So it's just Eye Candy Eliza, right? So literally like eye candy, it's like right in your face, right? To look at her. And then it's just her in the video, like doing like kind of like a strip routine and like in scantily clothes. So I posted screenshots of that and I tweeted at Eliza and I said, hey, I know this is really hard this might be a sensitive topic for you, but can you clarify some of these timelines? Because people are saying your age isn't adding up for the dates you provided. And also this music video is going to cause a lot of confusion for people who are going to look into this, be like, wait, you were trafficked? Are you just lying? Because if you're in the rap music video and people are seeing her say, oh, I'm trafficked, they're going to be really confused. So I really was not malicious in asking her. I just posted screenshots for a frame of reference so people could know what I'm talking about, so she could know what I'm talking about. And next thing I knew, my account was locked. And then Amanda Jean, her best friend, I found out midstream because I was like, guys, I got locked on my account. And then Nina Infinity sent me a screenshot of Amanda Jean. And I was like, huh, this person's claiming they got my account locked. Then I showed it to chat. And then my chat was like, she's friends with Eliza. And I was like, no way. So I opened up Eliza's page midstream. And I'm like, holy shit. She's saying, Amanda Jean, I trust you more than anyone. Thank you for being there for me less than 24 hours ago. I'm like, this smells fishy. So, and not just because she opened her legs. So I went ahead and gave the benefit of the doubt to Eliza, like, hey, if this is your bestie doing this, you would know about this. I'm going to give you a little bit of time. If you disavow it, you disavow it. Speak up and help me get my account unlocked. So a day goes by and Eliza tweets out that she's going to basically sue me and that her non-consensual images were posted. And her bestie claimed that they were non-consensual nudes, which is libel. They were not nudes, and it was not non-consensual. As we found out later on, through interviews, through recordings that she posted herself, she was excited to audition for World Star. She got compensated to be in this music video. And she's across several interviews talking about how many rap videos she's in. She's a video vixen. She's in one video calling her mother to brag about it and laughing about it. And then I saw in one of her interviews, the white background, there's 2 of those videos. And one of them, she basically talks about her booking. And I'm like, why is she calling her modeling booking? Because she's referring to modeling as her rap music videos. Because, girls will say like OnlyFans is modeling, right? Prostitution is art, that's the new thing. So I was like, that's really weird. Why would you call that booking? She was booked for 150 grand, I believe it was, to have sex with a guy. I'm like, that's strange that they would think they can get that from you. Why is that? And then
it's a very specific number.
Yeah, and then you find out later in her other interview, so she's laughing in that one about it, which is strange from a trafficking victim. And then you find out later she's in an interview with this other chick who has like pinkish purple hair too. And she is like, yeah, the woman interviewing her, yeah, I was an ex-prostitute. And she was like, yeah, we didn't have a word for it back then. Eliza said we 3 times. So she's admitting she's had sex for money. So she's using trafficking as a way to kind of cover up her past, because she has strongly, heavily implied many times that these rap music videos were non-consensual. The one I posted, which clearly was, she admitted to it in recording, and she uses we for ex-prostitutes. So I came to the conclusion through sifting through everything, through looking through her Model Mayhem resume site. It said an email, and it said Helen Troy bookings at Gmail, something along those lines. So I looked up what's Helen Troy. And I look it up and I'm like, this looks like an escorting site. Like they're like book a model, and then it's just girls who are like half naked. It looks like straight out of Playboy, some of them. So I'm like, this is weird. This looks unprofessional. The site's down. It looks like a storefront wash money. That's what it looked like to me. So in my personal opinion, I think that she's trying to cover up that she prostituted herself. And I think that she's trying to cover up something else she did in that time period. And these two things conflict with her story of being a trafficking victim, which she uses a lot and says a lot and asks for money on podcasts like from Hotep Jesus. And then she'll turn around and say, I never get money. I don't ask for money. It's crazy how many lies she's been caught in at this point.
Yeah. Also, is it true her dad is a congressman?
From my research, yes.
Yes. Her dad's a Republican congressman.
I got a background check on her, and from what it looks like, yeah.
We'll see. Hey, and like everybody said this, and I'll say it, like everybody can have their own opinions on this. I don't think that, and I'm sure you said this in the past, you were just looking for clarification. Like none of this would have messed with her whole trafficking thing at all. If
yeah,
she just come out, yeah,
she did this herself, 100%.
You know, a lot of people who are trafficked have had to were either forced into prostitution or did it as she said in survival. In the drug world, it's pretty freaking. You know, she talked about in that one interview survival sex.
Yeah,
in the drug world, that's happening.
That what she did, right?
Yeah. And she didn't consider that trafficking, right? But that's the kind of crap that I was talking about earlier in the live stream. That's what's going on Skid Row. That's what's going on 6th Street in San Francisco on the street. That's what's going on in that street in Philadelphia right now. So, I mean, it wouldn't have affected it. You just go like, yeah, it was a horrible time for me. I didn't know which way was up or down. You know, it would have been easy to explain unless you don't have anything to explain. That's the biggest question everybody has, and this hurts that cause overall. I think that's the most concerning thing. Grifters will always they're always going to be here. It's part of life when it comes to stuff like this. But like for such a serious subject, that's the bad part. Like chasing this subject for clout is. There just needs to be clarification. That's all.
Yeah.
And if you can't.
It's like stolen valor. Like you're using victims to step on their backs to get ahead, and it's wrong. She's like, oh, I'm an advocate. I help the victims. She's helping herself is who she's helping. And she'll do this thing of like, ooh, I'm so modest. I have an old phone. I have no Wi-Fi. And meanwhile, she always says things in a way where it's very vague. So for example, with one of her recent tweets about, I've been trafficked in many ways, paragraph, WorldStar took down the video. And it's like, okay, so you didn't say you were trafficked in that video. You're saying you've been trafficked in many ways, which one of those ways, by the way, on the Hotep Jesus interview is her image being used to catfish people. That's her being trafficked. Yeah, that's her being trafficked according to her. So in the many ways, in Eliza Blue's words, and she says, oh, and I've been trafficked in many ways. WorldStar took down the video. So someone reading that, it's going to be like, oh, you were trafficked in the WorldStar video. But that's clearly not true. She's admitted it so many times over the years. She's been a video vixen for like 6-7 years, if I got my timeline correct. And so she does this thing where it's like, oh, I don't have Wi-Fi. Okay, but how are you on internet right now? Clearly you have internet. You're just saying you don't have Wi-Fi because you're framing it in a manipulative way to tap into people's emotions to feel bad for you. You're trying to get sympathy. That's why you word these things like that. Or the black eye incident, where she was posing at the black eye. I'll go ahead and find the link to that. She basically was like, oh, this is what a trafficking victim looks like. But she didn't say that's how she got the black eye. You have to look at the way she types things. She types it and says it in a very specific, manipulative way.
Yeah, well, that's how. Again, to go back to the drug underworld subculture I was in for many years. That's how you survived, you know. So it's just applying those skills elsewhere and possibly for evil.
So you think she acts like a person that would be in jail, like when you have to like manipulate to get ahead?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting because you're speaking from experience, so you know it when you see it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, you just have what's left of your wits because you're high out of your mind, right? Not saying she was high on drugs, maybe she was sober the whole time, but you also have to survive in this world where there is nothing but a danger everywhere. We'll just say danger. and you've got no money, and you've got like every day you got to hustle to come up with the money for the drugs or whatever. And yeah, it creates a very manipulative sociopathic behavior that's has to be completely deprogrammed. And that's what, so, you know, like, so I mentioned just being off the drugs is nothing. The drugs are a symptom of a much larger problem. Not saying
I
that's
don't
the
doubt
case
it.
here.
I don't doubt it that she would have been. Is a speculation. Yeah, but it's also the fact that so many people in that prostitution industry, like all flavors of it. So people call it sex work. It's interchangeable. The word was invented by a street hooker in the 1970s before the internet was really a thing. So I digress. A lot of them do get into drugs, and it's to cope with the feelings. And in some cases, if you are trafficked, a lot of prostitutes are trafficked. That's the thing. And so their stories are getting muddied by Eliza Blue. Now nobody's going to actually realize that part of trafficking, that a large percentage of trafficking victims are through coercion, right? Or extortion. That would be trafficking. If you have a handler. But in her case, she's auditioning seemingly by herself. That's what she said. She auditioned. Nobody's forcing her to do it. So it doesn't look like trafficking to me, but a lot of people do use drugs to cope or to be coerced into doing things on camera, etc.
Getting them hooked on drugs will make them very easy to coerce. So
yeah, it's easy to manipulate people if you're like, oh, well, I'm going to dangle this bacon in your face. Especially if someone comes from a shitty foundation, but they don't have a good family. A lot of people end up in prostitution because of that. They're easy targets.
Yep. And it's very, very sad and ends badly. Hang on, I got your link. And then we'll go over Jeremy's thread.
Yeah, I wonder what he's going to do now after the thread as well.
Okay, so this is a picture of Eliza's black eye.
Black eye, not black guy, guys.
Black eye. Yeah, sorry. I will enunciate.
No, she was with a lot of black guys in the video. People were saying like blacked when they were watching the music video. Yeah, so in this tweet, like you can see she's posing with the black eye here. Not a black eye like in her music videos, but her black eye that she mysteriously got. And if you read it, it says, this is what human trafficking really looks like. You bruised yourself to look like this for money at countless survivors and victims' expense. I mean, that's essentially what she did. Like use them to get ahead and promote herself as a survivor advocate. She got an award for virtue signaling the most the other day. So literally that's pretty much.
Really? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So she was at an award thing. I'll give you the short in a second. And she was like accepting an award for being a survivor advocate. There was other categories like helping victims and all this stuff, but she got survivor advocate. So the person who complains about being a survivor the most, basically. But yeah, in this picture, you can see she's like posing with the bruise and like smiling in the left photo. This is not normal behavior. If I had a bruise on my face from someone hitting me, which she's trying to insinuate here without actually saying it, right, for a reason to manipulate, I would not be posting it. I absolutely would not. Speaking from experience, I have been physically abused before and I didn't do this.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, selfie time.
Yeah, it's like, it reminds me of Pokemon when she posted pictures of herself crying. It's like, this is psychotic behavior. Like, what are you doing? And this is supposed to be a sensible person that's supposed to represent victims. She just did all her victims that she quote unquote helped a huge disservice by invalidating their story with her bullshit now.
And this is not going to go away. It's just not like everything. She's like, well, she posted a picture of a cat yesterday. Was it 2 days ago on the farm? The little kitty cat. And that got brutalized. Of just a picture of a kitty cat. She tweeted something today like, life is good. I'm paraphrasing. And it just got destroyed. And it just talk to these people. Unban and talk. That's how, if you're right, then prove it on Twitter. Okay. The marketplace of ideas. That's what I heard it was, but that's not the case anymore. Let's get to Jeremy. Good old Jeremy. You're welcome.
I posted the short to the award thing, by the way. It's
you did? Okay.
In a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a look. Right.
Unban Defango? Yeah, I don't think he should be banned, especially because he seemingly, according from my email I got from him, he said it's out of nowhere. Like, obviously, this is just them trying to further dig the hole to hide their evidence, to hide the tracks. Like, he doesn't even have the option of deleting the tweet to unlock his account.
He doesn't? Uh-oh. Oh, well.
He's just nuked.
Yeah, that doesn't make you look guilty as sin. All right, this is going to repeat because it's a short, but
these things.
Oh, stop it.
A few examples of some of the things that lives have said.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, it should be on yours, so click forward. It should have. He didn't. Yeah, I'm sorry. He didn't do a mashup. I apologize. Okay.
They literally had no examples to show Eliza and her good work and her advocacy for the award they're giving her. They had 0 examples. They had no highlights to put in the reel. And she just posted this on Twitter. Like, guys, look at the good work I do at receiving this award for being a professional victim. Here are her highlights. We got nothing, boss. Anyway, continuing. She posted this onto her own Twitter, guys.
Let me show you a few examples of some of the things.
God.
Yeah, that's what they had to show for her good work. Absolutely nothing. And they gave her the award.
Oh, and you got to feel bad for these people because they're like, hey, here's this person who's this, we hear is this advocate, and we hear she's done all these amazing things, but we have no examples. But we got the award ready because nobody vets anybody anymore. We don't even know I don't even know what her name is.
Oh my God. This video that posted the recording of her bragging about, like, I watched the Kardashians, so I know how to get famous. I was just trying to find that to link to you. That account got suspended too. Their account was McLovin. It was this link over here. I hope I think I definitely have access to the full audio, but now I'm just gonna have to go and like highlight the parts that I need. But yeah, like this link I just sent, this person was also suspended. So it's not just Defango, it's anyone posting. All they did was post clips of her.
This is
to my knowledge,
in real time. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It's just like boop, 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 Thanos snap. Who did she suck to get this far ahead? That's what I want to know. That's what we all need to know.
Well, there maybe a lot of people. Elon. Maybe Elon. Okay, so the Twitter, the tweets are nuked, and you just have a bunch of responses.
Yeah, I'm sure Farron has it, and I have the full one. But yeah, basically in the clip, she's talking about how the Kardashians know how to keep their name in the media, and she watches them and learns how to do it. So I guess she didn't want that out there. That clip, but it was from her own website, by the way. Her website should be still up. I'm sure it's like a 45-minute interview audio, though. But she basically admits to going on World Star and how happy she was in that audio too.
Yeah, it is Jack Murphy 2.0. It's so sad, and it's unbelievable. There's a point where you just like, this is where, you know, we will fill in the blanks. And this, honestly, if it's just like I said before, hey, I was not, I didn't know up from down. My head wasn't right. I was getting pimped out by this one guy, but I was still trying to because like any drug addict can identify. I'm not saying she was a drug addict, that we try to lead normal lives, you know, while hiding our drug abuse. And we think we're so clever about it, but most people are on to us. It could have easily been explained, but the more you go, the more you nuke people from Twitter. They're gonna, you know what that's going to make people do? I'm stating the obvious here. It's going to make them work harder. They're going to be pissed, or they're going to be, okay, you're obviously hiding something bigger. And I think that's what a lot of people are asking right now. Because this still, like even a few days ago, could have been fixed. Easy. Just explain the timeline. That's all.
I think it doesn't come down to just explaining the timeline at this point. Jeremy and I both had our accounts down for an entire week. And if she truly was sorry, she would not only clarify and apologize, especially with all the libel that was spouted about me, posting non-consensual images. And then Cassandra Fairbanks, the booker for Temple, heavily accusing me of quote unquote sexually harassing Eliza Blue. Do you know how damaging that would be? Imagine if I were a guy and someone said that. That would be career ruining. People saying this stuff about me because of Eliza, because she's besties with Eliza. So no, it's not just simple as a sorry at this point. It's also you tried to hurt my reputation. People who are surrounding you tried to hurt my reputation. Her best friend, Amanda Jean, and Cassandra Fairbanks. And you affected my business. So if she truly was sorry, she would not only come out with the truth, get my account unlocked, remove any sort of ban that was put on people who posted things about her own recordings she posted on her own websites that she had access to or whatever, her portfolios. And she would also put her money where her mouth is. You costed us money. This is a business. This isn't, oh, haha, petty drama. You actually are a free speech advocate, so to speak, and you're deplatforming people and you're costing people money. You're costing people's livelihoods. How many of our viewers got their accounts locked for this? Chrissy's links getting banned. We can't post Simcast links. Now it gets like, oh, a warning on it. People are getting locked for posting links. This is beyond an apology at this point. Sorry is not going to do it. That's cheap. It's not going to be enough at this point. And
Twitter's involvement, Twitter's trust and safety involvement in this meet the new boss, same as the old boss scenario. You know, it's about fighting the elitism and, you know, Jack Murphy using men and not being about men, being about himself, being the alpha giga chad that he obviously wasn't. And, you know, listen, you let yourself get taken advantage of. I take full responsibility for everything I've done, but that doesn't excuse the grifter going out there and we're, you know, especially with the alpha male shit. Okay. No alpha male needs to say they're a fucking alpha male ever.
Yeah, and pay for my pyramid scheme.
Yeah, fuck that. Just, you know, find somebody in your life. Find a coach, a mentor, a dad. That would be nice. We need more dads. More dads would be good. And that's on dads, by the way. That's on men. Men need to stick around a lot more.
Yeah, something people don't realize is when they say daddy issues, it's less about the girl and more about the fact that, like, what about the dad? Like, the daddy issues, it's on him. He was supposed to do his role in that. And think before you sleep. Sean said, don't forget that Twitter committed libel by saying the photos were non-consensual. Yeah, literally Twitter spouting libel as well. So yeah, this is beyond a just sorry for sure.
So the quartering comes out. He's back. Jeremy's back. If he wants to come on, he can. I don't know if he's probably not watching. He's probably making 6 videos right now. But sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business, complicated. To celebrate my return, I would like to announce the first installment of the Eliza Blue files, my multi-part series. Part 1, how a clout goblin infiltrated Twitter trust and safety with lies used to ban their critics. Clout
I like that.
goblin. I do too. Literal clout goblin coming after us. Many of you are aware the dozens of YouTube creators, investigative reporters, including Camelot now, our good friend Yellow Flash, who were affected by this. Chrissy Mayer, of course you are. What the hell?
So she has to undo all of that, by the way. Like, if she was sorry, she would have to undo all these bans. It's like all of the people you just mentioned, plus Stefango, plus like all these other people posting receipts that also got their accounts locked and banned. So I doubt she can at this point. Like, she could, she really wanted to, but it's a lot to undo.
You know, you're seeing all these accounts get banned, and I see a couple accounts, like older accounts, coming back, and it just takes all the fun out of that. Because, like, oh, so there's some previous banned account. I mean, like Nick Fuentes was allowed back on the platform for like a day before he got banned again. But then, you know, quartering's gone, Yellow Flash is gone, you're gone, Camelot's gone. It's like, yeah, fuck this. You know, it's one platform. We thought we get some fucking change. One platform out of a dozen or whatever, and nope. So
can't have any expectations.
No, you cannot. Many of you are aware that dozens of YouTube creators, investigative reporters, and critics in general have been either banned or locked out of their Twitter accounts over the past 10 days. You've also been hearing way too much of one particular name, Eliza Blue. Here is why. Eliza Blue is most recent of nearly a half a dozen alias names this woman has used in the past few years. Eliza Motherland, her real name. Her dad is an Illinois politician, or Morthland. Why did I say Motherland? Oh, commie. Eliza Morthland. Eliza Seeps. I don't even know how to say that one. Eliza
she says it's Sipe, I think.
Sipe?
I don't know.
Is that how you get blue out of BLEU? Okay.
She got, okay, fun fact. So people are saying she shows symptoms of cluster B personality disorder. She actually got the name Blue from one of Kanye's models or something that had the last name Blue, like BLUE, the color. So she just took that and like stole it. She adopted that personality. So that's why she's Eliza Blue, from what I heard. That's what I was told.
Single white female shit. This is getting crazy. Eliza Cuts, Eliza Knows, totally normal for someone to have 5 other names, right? Sure. No. Not really. Eliza Blue has chased fame her entire life, from dating the lead singer of My Chemical Romance to a TV appearance on the Steve Harvey Show and a dating show Blind Date. Yeah, My Chemical Romance. Remember that band. She also appeared in no less than 4 rap videos as a video vixen. Her words, it's more than 4 now, isn't it?
I counted like 7 or 8.
Okay.
From what I found, but in her resume, she says it's over 20. So we've only found less than half of them, by the way.
Oh boy. Here is where things get spicy. Just under 2 weeks ago, one particular video resurfaced on the internet. One of the last 4 known rap videos that starred Eliza Blue, Nose, Spears, whatever, Motherland, a video that had been on YouTube for over 6 years. Nothing about the video was remarkable. The only thing of note was Eliza Blue's response. Eliza Blue immediately leveraged her deep connections at Twitter, which is true. Well, it's certainly looking true. Let's put it that way. It's looking true. I got to be super vague, because whatever. To begin locking out anyone who posted the publicly available video claiming it was non-consensual. Twitter head of trust and safety publicly backed her numerous times. The only problem here is she lied. She lied, according to Jeremy here. Well, according to a lot of people. She was excited about the video. She begged World Star Hip Hop to produce the video. She pitched the video directly to World Star Hip Hop. She pitched the video, and she is on video going, yeah, like, I'm totally happy with this. She was blessed and almost pissed herself, in quotes, to be around the fancy equipment. Proof below. Eliza, is there?
Oh, that's the audio that was banned, by the way. That audio right there. Yeah.
Can we play it?
The guy got banned for it.
So he got banned off Twitter.
Yeah.
All right.
That was when I tried to link you.
And I look at that now and I'm like, dang, I was so skinny, but it was a size.
I don't care if any of this gets hit,
by the way. Star video, I was a size 8, and I still would have classified as a World Star, as a plus size model. That's what's crazy with the world, is that I still would have been plus even in that World Star video. And I look at that now and I'm like, dang, I was so skinny, but it was a summer. Accent? I was doing a lot.
I was so skinny.
But, yeah, honestly, for one, I was blessed to work with one of the dopest directors in the game. Like,
in the game, right? Shit.
I was so blessed.
She blacker than me.
You know what I mean? To work with him. He had a Red Dragon camera, and I almost pissed myself because it was like a Red Dragon camera is so expensive to work with. This was like a vision of mine. Not the actual video, but like the idea of wanting to do something of that caliber.
This is so incriminating that it's funny.
It's really so humbling. Like, it dropped me to my knees.
And to him, it was like every day. He
used to work with like Little Wayne, Young Jeezy.
It was expensive.
Migos, Rich Homie Quan, all these people, like the list goes on and on and on. And I'm over here like, dang, World Star took a chance on me. You know what I mean? And now I got the Red Dragon camera. Wow. Yeah, girl, it was just very, 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 very humbling. And it's still to this moment, it's still very humbling. I just feel so blessed. And the way the whole thing came about, and I've never even told anybody this besides maybe a couple girlfriends, was I had a vision. I couldn't sleep one night.
It was her vision.
And I had a vision.
Non-consensual.
I said to myself, what would take me to the next level, like for myself? What will get me to that next level of that
anything to get ahead?
I want to reach. Yep. And bring them that art, bring them that passion, but still keep it within the scope of what I'm doing. And at about 6 o'clock in the morning, I just got this thing in my head like World Star. World Star reaches the most people, like honestly, like that I could reach. You know what I mean? I'm never going to be on E! Television. I'm never going to be on TMZ. You know what I mean? Unless I do something crazy or stupid. Like, I'm never going to reach one.
Oh, she made the news all right. She made the news.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, it was through technically the mean she said, just not in the way she would have probably wanted it. But she's probably, honestly speaking, she probably is enjoying the clout, even if it is negative. People like her, they really thrive off of that. Also, following the incriminating evidence, I just want to mention that on Think Before You Sleep stream yesterday, he brought this clip up. So, Sean, if you have it, send it. But there's a clip. There's a clip of her on Hotep Jesus' stream saying, oh, so he's like, okay, we'll give half the money of super chats to the trafficking victims. And Liza's like, well, I'm a trafficking survivor and I'm going to pocket it. That's essentially what she said.
Whoa.
So she takes half his super chat money, which, you know, like, that's not really how it works. Like, the host gets the money. Like, you don't, because of conflict of interest, because now you're compromised if you're paying the guests to be there, especially if it's for something educational, like trafficking survivor advocate, right?
Yeah.
Advocacy. So she gets money from him, promotes her Cash App, and then, so everyone knows that part, but then later in the interview, it's almost the only person I saw catch this. She says in her Twitter bio, like Hotep Jesus, he's like, where can people contact like the trafficking hotline? And she's like, well, I don't know if they gave me permission. She literally doesn't even know the number. She's like, I don't know if they gave me permission to promote that. So actually you can find the number on my Twitter bio. So literally she's like, follow me on Twitter to find the trafficking hotline. So she's shilling herself under the guise of helping victims. So she's creating friction, as Sean put it. She's making it harder for the victims instead of just saying, hey, here's the number you can call. Here's the hotline, as an advocate should do. She instead goes and shills her own Twitter because she remembers that. Oh. I have the clip right here if you want it, actually.
You got it?
Yeah, it's a Dropbox link, though. I don't know if X-Ray Girl wants to handle it, but
yeah, could you get that, X-Ray Girl?
Okay, clip 1 and clip 2. Because for all we know, she's going to strike these down on Twitter, by the way, because I saw Chrissy post a few. I wouldn't be surprised. She's getting people banned for it. So those are the 2 Dropbox links.
I could go all day with Eliza Blue proving she lied about the video being non-consensual, and Elon Musk and this is this trust and safety right here.
Yeah, the head.
Ella Irwin being duped by her, but how about just a few more? And
she probably knows, to be honest. It's not like no one told her.
Know. There's probably some conversation like, we're going to protect you unless it gets absolutely crazy. Then we'll turn on you. And that's it. Hey, there you are. Look at that. Right
hold on. This third one is the actual one. There you go.
About a third example that Eliza Blue lied on the Elon Musk about the video being non-consensual. She is very excited and refers to the video as another piece of the puzzle.
People were getting blocked by her, but she didn't explicitly say like, oh, this is a video that was non-consensual, because she's literally saying how it was such a great thing.
2016 has already started, so here we are. I'm really happy that the World Star video got released. That was good piece to the puzzle.
Does that sound like I'm the left and I'm digging things up to you guys when she says that she's happy it's out and it's a big piece of the puzzle? I don't, to me, that does not sound like I'm dredging up information. Okay. And she didn't say that she didn't want this out there. People were getting blocked by her, but she didn't.
Is that some of the accusations you're getting? Part of the a psyop?
Yeah. Eliza and her bestie are saying it's non-consensual, and I literally posted things that she's proud of, that she's talking about extensively. The cameras were so expensive, so yeah, along with the libel of I'm sexually harassing from other people, and it's not non-consensual. It was a public video, and she talked about it, how happy she was it was out there, how proud she was. So yeah, it's bullshit. She's lying.
Yeah, it's really good to just, if as somebody who has a dark past, just talk about it. It's fine. If you're not that person anymore, you're truly not. It's a lot easier to talk about. It's
but she already lied about it. There's nothing she can say to salvage it. We have now several recordings of her saying how happy she was to do it. She said she was the one who auditioned for it. She was the one who contacted them. They paid her. Like, there's nothing she can say. She can't be like, oh, I was pimped to do that. Like, no, you on recording several. From our perspective, it's consensual. From our perspective, it's a public video that you were happy about. There's nothing she could say to be like, oh, damn, she got you. Like, it's a pretty black and white case.
And definitely go follow the quartering. He's back. Follow you when and if you come back, please subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, they can follow me. It's just I can't log in my account because I'm locked still.
So definitely follow her. You're on TikTok. I don't do the TikTok.
Yeah, I've been posting clips on TikTok, on YouTube under Brittany Venti. I'm on Instagram. That's how I'm contacting people right now. Is Brittany Venti on Instagram and Saturday_supermodel. So that's how I've been getting it out.
Thank you, Brittany. And definitely, check out this thread. Now, this clip is long, but I'll just tell you what she said. She's talking to her mom here, and she's like, have you seen my videos, Mom? Mom's all, yeah, they're funny. They're cool. Mom didn't seem too judgmental about her. Like Eliza says, like, I shake my booty. And Mom just kind of chuckles. Nothing wrong with that, but this doesn't sound like, especially it conflicts with the timeline, and it doesn't sound like somebody is trafficked. Again, provide evidence that you were, and you don't have, like, I understand there's danger involved and stuff. It just doesn't feel that way. And man, the accusations, if they are true, and it's certainly looking that way, grifting off of this particular subject, pretty low, pretty freaking low, to state the obvious. And it does damage. It does overall damage. And you know what people are going to do? They're not going to donate. They're not going to trust anybody. And that's really important. That's why authenticity and telling the truth is important. That's why you could have still done this, despite maybe not being just going, I got whored out a little bit or something, for lack of a better term. You could still be a trafficking advocate. It's okay. That's within that realm. She's contributed to a low trust society, and that's exactly what we don't want. Also, by the way, in one of the music videos, I believe Quartering posted which one it was in the threads. Another one of her like prancing around in a bikini and airing out her hoo-ha, bringing it around town, SpongeBob style. And in that video, I believe it was, in the comments, I showed this on stream, so even if she deletes it, it's still there. But she commented under the video herself, under her real account, Eliza Seep. It's her account. I checked it on stream. I clicked it. It's the same one that posted that video with her calling her mom, saying, "Mommy, I'm in videos. How do you feel about it?" Yeah, that same account. She posted and commented, "I'm so happy I was in this video." And the haters, listen, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what she said in the comment. Okay. And you know what? It's not, but apparently it is now. Apparently it is now. To add even more evidence, here is the CEO of World Star Hip Hop disproving her entire story. Statement wanted regarding Eliza Knows video from World Star Hip Hop. She was paid for this video, and we own the full rights. Anything further can be addressed via legal. Thank you. Uh-oh. Somebody's getting sued. I don't think it's Brittany or Jeremy from the Quartering. Starring in music videos was a career choice for Eliza Blue. Here are several more examples, and she's in this video for sure, shaking her badunkadunk. Another rap video starring Eliza Blue. Another, who knows how many of these are out there, but I made my point. Gonna feel it myself.
I know, the Ebonics. You couldn't come up with a more ratchet name. Gonna feel it myself. Okay.
It's so funny. It's comical. I know this isn't a funny subject, but that's comical. Where things get especially insidious is when Eliza Blue and the VP of Twitter, Trust and Safety, seem to be working together in real time. This is what really bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other stuff does too, but this, I mean, we know this is happening. Okay. So, and they're keeping you off. I mean, God, I really hope you get back on. I understand. You know, when Yellow Flash was talking about, you know, I'm not going to delete my tweet. And that's his choice. I told him, I'm like, dude, I think you should and be a pain in the ass another way. But if I was Brittany, I wouldn't, because you were kind of, you know, the first one hit, and there is principle involved here. And it would make it go away if you deleted your tweet. And they're winning right now. Like, they're winning on Twitter, not in the court of public opinion. They're losing their ass on that, but they're in charge of the platform. And this has done tons of damage to Elon and Twitter with the people who are really excited to come back. How many people came back to Twitter who were gone for years because of this? Yeah. And now they're going to be we've already gotten people like, fuck that $8. I'm out. I'm not re-upping. I'm not re-upping my $8. I'm going to save my $8.
Yeah. And also, I haven't seen Trust and Safety comment on a case like this outside of Trump. That's the only time I've seen it. Like, this is really a special event here. And it's really suspicious how they address it, Ella Irwin. But then she goes ahead and says, we can't comment publicly about specific cases, like talking about my case. But they just did, like, earlier in the week publicly, replying to someone. So they backpedaled there.
And my conspiracy mind thinks there's something way bigger going on here. I just think there is. This is a lot of effort to cover up some hip hop booty shaking. Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like there's something else going on. Could be wrong, but I don't know. Where things get especially insidious is where Eliza Blue and I read that part. And here we've got this. In the past 2 weeks, we've suspended multiple accounts and or restricted content, causing confusion for users. Unfortunately, we can't answer questions or share details about specific users and account actions, but here are some things we can lead to these types of actions. And then we have Eliza responding, I have been sexually exploited in multiple ways. I'd like to thank WorldStar for removing the video depicting me on Wednesday this week, and I would like to thank
depicting
me on Wednesday of this week.
As if like she was unaware. The cameras came out of the fucking bushes and took video of her.
And she was just happened to be wearing a bikini, shaking her booty by herself, you know. And they're like, we got you. I'd like to thank Google and YouTube for removing the video on Wednesday. I would like to thank Twitter and Twitter Safety. Even more concerning is that it seems Eliza Blue is working directly with the VP of Trust and Safety to rewrite the rules of Twitter to cover her tracks. Ella Irwin Panic released the new rules on Saturday, again, moments after Eliza Blue news. So maybe somebody's got some dirt on somebody. See, again, my mind's going to wander on this.
It's so funny how she thanks them like it's an award, by the way.
I know.
Thank you so
much. I'd like
to
thank the Twitter Trust and Safety Board. And in the past 2 weeks, we've suspended. Oh, I've already read that one. Okay, so they get the new rules. And in such an important point, I dedicate its own tweet to it. Eliza Blue does not work at Twitter, yet she seems to be dictating policy to serve her own agenda. It is baffling to me why Twitter would incinerate their entire mission of transparency and trust and its users to protect one random woman from a nothing burger video from 6 years ago, or 6 or 7 of them, Jeremy. Even more confusing with Eliza Blue would destroy her credibility over, again, a public video she begged to be in 6 years ago, and ignored that for 5 and ignore the 4 or 5 other videos out there. Many people are speculating it may blow up her timeline of being trafficked, which it does.
Yeah, if you do, I mean, it's hard to do some of the calculations because she's seemingly lied about her age. Now we have pretty much confirmation that she's 41, I believe it is, and she does have a little bit of an overlap in the timeline. She says she's trafficked, and when she was in the music videos, so I suspect that that's why as well. That's why she's hiding it. It's less about the twerking, and which does confuse people if you say you're a trafficking victim. But also it's the timeline overlap. And that's what started this, was me pointing out the timelines in that thread DeFango made and tweeting it at her and asking her about it. And really quick, Crowdcrawler posted evidence, like timestamped evidence of me DMing him about it before I did this stuff. I can't remember if it was exactly during or right before. I'm pretty sure it was before. And I was like, I don't want to step on any toes. Do you know anything about this? And he posted the screenshots of the DMs. So there actually is evidence that it was not malicious. Crowdcrawler one on Twitter.
Yeah. And she's acting like everything is. And it just makes you look like Jack Murphy. It does. And it's
worse.
It's worse. It's gotten ridiculous. Yeah, because Jack Murphy, I mean, had his own little website and was pulling his own little thing, whatever. This does have victims. If she is doing this, this hurts real victims.
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
Again, it's insidious. Maybe it has something to do with her stating in her own words, this video was filmed years after she was saved in 2012. So she was saved in 2012, right? Is that the narrative?
Yeah, but the woman was according to my research, sued by her own family, and they won because she said that they trafficked her. And the owner of Eve's Angels, the person who validated Eliza's story, literally got sued for spouting libel, and her family won like $40,000 or something like that, or like $30K and then lawyer fees because she didn't bother showing up, according to the documentation I read. So even the person vouching for her story doesn't seem legitimate from how it looks. So it doesn't seem to be a reliable source. So everything's looking fishy, even the people validating her story.
Yeah. Wow. Sued by her own family.
Yeah, the person who owns Eve's Angels.
That makes Christmas weird, doesn't it? Like, if we totally sued you. Okay, I'm trying to... I think at the very least, I have proven to Elon that Eliza Blue is abusing her connection inside of Twitter for personal reasons, that Ella Irwin is suspect at best. The creators were falsely deplatformed due to these lies, should be immediately reinstated. I totally agree. In part 2 of the Eliza Blue files, we will discuss stolen charity money. Oh no. Her curious connections and allegations she lied about starting Safe House for trafficking victims. I didn't want to do this. I don't think it's fair to dunk on Elon Musk or anyone else for being duped. I think 2 things can be true. Eliza Blue could be doing great things for trafficking victims, and she could be deplatforming critics. It's what people do now that the info is out there that matters.
Agreed.
I've lost faith in Twitter at this point, and I may be banned for this thread. Please follow me on Locals. There you go. Follow Jeremy on Locals, thequartering.locals.com, on Telegram, or subscribe to his YouTube channel, which you all are. You already know. So I totally agree with that. And it's being used to silence people. It doesn't look good at all. So the longer this goes on, the more she's done. She's done. Even the people who aren't calling her out right now, they're just going to quietly not answer the phone anymore. You'll see it.
Exactly. I like how it's called like the blue files. We have Twitter files, and then now it's like Twitter files 2.0, the blue files.
I love how he formatted it just like the Twitter files. So that was great. Well done.
Please help Jeremy on Cash App. He can't afford internet. Yeah, that's what Eliza says. I don't have Wi-Fi. Literally 2 years later, she ran like 2 GoFundMes, has money from Hotep Jesus on a stream, and like, oh, I can't afford Wi-Fi. It's like, how expensive is Wi-Fi for you? You still can't afford it 2 years later, and you have an old iPhone. Ooh, woo, you're so humble and modest. Okay. I never take money.
That's not true. That's just.
But yeah, if you want to pull up the clips for the receipts to show what I was talking about. Did you get those
clips,
earlier.
X-Ray Girl? Have you downloaded those yet? Here, I'll try it.
They're great.
I will try it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to see if Elon responds to Jeremy's thread, since it has a lot of tension.
Oh, we can't hear anything.
Did you click allow audio, like the little?
I think she's muted. That's why. Unmute yourself, X-Ray Girl. I can. Here.
Poor Hotep Jesus. So he got like shook down live on stream. Like, haha, you're gonna give me the money, right? And he's like, I guess.
Still can't hear an X-Ray Girl. She did that to it. What?
Yeah, because like live on stream, he's like, oh, I guess I'll give half the money to trafficking victims for Eliza. And then she's like, actually, I'm a survivor advocate and I'll take the money. But, you know, I'm a survivor advocate. She's like, I'll pocket the money. So but what is he supposed to do if he's on stream? She says that. Oh, no, I'm not going to give you the money. Like she's a woman. Everyone's going to be on his ass if he does that. He can't just be like, oh, no. There we go.
I'm gonna get abused through this whole interview.
This is trafficking right here. Hope that Jesus is about to rake in on these super chats and give Eliza $0.
That's not true.
See?
Right. I'll send over I'll text you my Cash App. Cash App $ELIZABLEU. He's like
50% of proceeds tonight go to Eliza Blue. You send 50% of all super chats will go to Eliza Blue tonight to help human trafficking victims and to raise awareness.
Trafficking victim, that's going to help is me. And I'm a human trafficking survivor. But let me tell you what it can help by. Number one, I don't have internet at home. Number two, I wasn't set up for this use. I don't have a computer at home. Jesus knows this. Number three, I borrowed this beautiful light that's giving me this look from my barber.
Wow.
So help your
Oh, who's coloring your hair, girl? Because that ain't cheap.
Being a public survivor.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna be a content creator and keep doing interviews like I am today.
Oh my God, I just sounded like.
And the other interviews I have coming up. And if you want me to be good, help a sister out. Help me out.
Help a sister out.
Help a sister out with her facial work. She's clearly, you know, I'm not judging here, but she's had a little facial work done. You can see it, and that hair ain't cheap either, because I know how much
she looks high maintenance for sure.
Oh, for sure. And anybody who like, what you're sitting there advocating, it's like, oh, it's going in my pocket. That's horrible. That's horrible. That's freaking terrible.
Yeah, and the other 2 clips are what I was referring to earlier about the trafficking hotline thing. Like, I can't believe she just put this out there, to be honest.
You know, I've never asked her permission if I can promote them.
Okay.
So I'm not going to, because when I left the game, my traffickers lost a lot of money. So I don't want them to become a target for my former abusers. My former abusers are still out there and kicking. They know where I'm at. They know what I'm doing.
So but that website was for helping people escape that life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it was just offering resources, sort of similar to like if you visited my Twitter profile, you know.
Can you pause it for a second, X-Ray Girl? So her abusers, her traffickers, which are breaking the law, are still out there.
Which she won't name.
That she won't name, victimizing more women that she won't name.
But she's brave for that, though, for not even naming them. She's so brave and courageous for that. Wow. Like if you want the the schlong sucking, so to speak. You have to do the work for it, okay? If you want people to be like, wow, you're so brave, Eliza. Like, you need to drop names then. If you're going to say you're an advocate and then you get mad when people ask about it and you're not even going to drop names, and then like you want to do this whole routine of I'm so brave and they're still out there, it's like, okay, why don't you stop being so vague in everything you say and actually start providing some details then? If what you're saying is true, it's not defamation. It's not libel.
No, and she can do it anonymously and save these women and get these whoever's doing it off the streets.
She doesn't say how she does that. She's never specific.
No,
it's always
manipulation. Like, they're still out there kicking. I'm going to do my thing. They can do theirs. Live and let live. All right, weird.
So my suggestion would be, if you have the ability, reach out to the human trafficking hotline. The human trafficking hotline is in my bio on Twitter. My Twitter is @ElizaBlue, or you can Google the human trafficking hotline. It'll pop right up.
Yeah. Go to her Twitter for the trafficking hotline.
Yeah.
So
that was framed weird.
So that's what matters to her, is for you to go and follow her Twitter. Then you'll get the trafficking hotline. She's an advocate, though. You know, guys, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it just might be a duck.
It's a fucking duck. Don't mention feeding the ducks. Not now, chat. Not now. Let's read some soups before you go. And I'll do one better than poor Hotep, poor guy. So any the ducks are here. Why do I even bother, chat? So all the super chats from this, I'm gonna match, and I don't know any trafficking charities, so I got to find a legit one. And when I find a legit one, I'll donate it to the legit one, and I will post that shit on Twitter. Okay, so you'll see it, and minus YouTube's 30%. Since we talked about it, I feel like that's probably prudent to do. But give me a minute to find because you gotta. There's a lot of shitty charities out there. Okay. There's a lot of
it's hard
charities. Yeah.
It's true. Like Eliza's house.
So we'll find, and like, if I can't find one, then I'll just donate it to NA or something, or AA. But you'll see it. You'll see it. It'll get donated to help people. Okay. I'll try to find trafficking. Oh, there is one. There is one. I just thought of it. Gina Carano backs that charity. We donated to him 2 years ago. So we will do that again. And again, look for Twitter in a week. I'll also post it in the community section. Okay. Just to let you all know. Because it's a hard subject, and that's what's fucked up about this. And that's why Brittany stays on top of this stuff. Whether you agree with me or her or not, she does a lot of good work in this and uncovering a lot of fucking pedos out there. Even
though she had nothing in her highlight reel when she accepted the award.
Yeah, and she had nothing in her highlight reel, but you've exposed other things and stayed on top of it, and it's good. It's very good what you've done. We're proud of you.
Thanks.
Brittany.
I appreciate it.
All right. No problem. I am going to slowly, because I'm kind of doing this. God, I'm just looking at the look on his face. Oh, poor guy. He's like, 50% of my super chat's going to you? What?
He's like, okay, I guess, if you say so.
Poor guy. I said, hell no. I will donate them to charity, but not you. Justin Reber for $4.99. Crack open Eisenhorn series yet? No, not yet. Not yet. Let's get to. Do we have? Because I was talking about Doctor Who earlier. X-Ray Girl. Do we have? We do. Hang on. Super chats for the guest. I know we usually save that for Friday night tights, but I got a lot of Doctor Who and Picard stuff we can talk about, and Velma, which I was talking about before. We were also talking about Pfizer and poor Zachary Levi saying that they're the devil and people defending him, or defending Pfizer, not him. I'm defending him.
I'm not caught up on that, but I know about Velma. I saw a lot of clips of it. It's like, were they just like horny when they wrote it or what?
I think so. I think Mindy Kaling is yeah, it's like sexually repressed and angry. She did admit to kissing a dude against his, like, if a dude had done that, and I'm sure they have in Hollywood, that he'd be done. But she like on the set just kissed a dude who didn't want to be kissed. It's totally fine for a girl. And honestly, most guys are like, yeah, whatever. But you know, there shouldn't be the double standard. Here is my $8 I would have paid for Twitter. I'm sure it will be put to better use here. Fiend5, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Robert Wiles for $4.99. Adam Krigler helped raise money for her to get her podcast equipment. So she used him and used his channel, who supported him. So she is a blank. Yeah, Adam's a friend. And I know he talked to her, and he's, you know, listen. It's not anybody's fault. It's Chrissy talked to her too. A bunch of people have talked to her. It's not Tim Pool's fault for talking to her. None of this, you know. It's part of doing a show with guests. You can't like deeply vet every single one. You can't. It's going to happen. So you can't blame those people. But, you know, to not mention it, at least Adam addressed it and said, you know, I've talked to her. I met her. I'd like to see both sides of the story. I think that's a reasonable approach at first, but like now there's a lot of evidence out there, but I love Adam. Adam's cool. I was streaming with him last night. Cool beans.
Yeah. With Tim Pool, as I mentioned earlier, Cassandra Fairbanks McDonald, she had a problem with me with the Eliza thing and assumed bad intent based on her own assumption, based on no actual evidence. There's actually evidence, as I said earlier, from Crab Crawler 1, showing the timestamp proof that was like, I don't want to step on toes, do you know anything about this? She proceeded to heavily imply that I sexually harassed Eliza, using the actual word sexual harassment in regard to me. And because of that, it seems like I was supposed to go on Tim Pool. There's two different things. There's one for the actual Tim Pool show, and then that one fell through. That was before the Eliza thing. Then I was going to go on early February for his other show that he has, Pop Culture, with Morgan. And she has the same email at Timcast and everything. So it's his show. So I was supposed to go there. But now it's not looking like it, as far as I know, because of Cassandra basically being besties with Eliza. And it's unfortunate that Tim Pool's also in that position. Like, his worker is kind of making his work harder, and also like putting him in a really bad position with her spouting libel too. And it's really unfortunate, but I still think I think it's the wrong move to not have me on to talk about it. I think it'd be the correct move to address it. But, you know, I do understand Tim's position. It is unfortunate that his own worker did that. Yeah.
I it would be best to have you on. They had, you know, Crowder on during that whole thing. Like, why not? You know, I like, get to the bottom of it. That's all I'm going to, you're not going to get to the bottom of it if you don't talk about it. And if you just pretend it doesn't happen. Now, they were able to do that with Jack Murphy. And like, I understand their position with Jack. I do. Like, they're like, what the fuck? You know, you're just sitting there going, he was doing what? But this is the same thing. And you know, they propped up Jack more than they propped up Eliza. But that's, yeah, I saw that thing on Twitter with the booking thing. I was like, that's not good. Stay out of it. If anything, especially if you're a booker, just stay out of it.
It's unprofessional.
Yeah.
It's super unprofessional. And she didn't just make one tweet, guys. It was like 10, and she deleted a lot of them. I archived them, and I showed them on stream already. So it doesn't matter that you deleted it, Cassandra. But yeah, she tried to hide her tracks just like Eliza. But it was like 10 tweets about it. It wasn't just like one. She was like really just like, this is my friend. I'm going to defend her anyway. So basically, I'm going to defend my friend over free speech, even though she books for a free speech podcast. So I said that's a conflict of interest. Clearly it is, because now it seems like I'm not going to be going on, to my knowledge, or unless Tim changes his mind.
And Jeremy was supposed to go on too, but he canceled for, I think there was a conflict or something, a conflict of time, not interest. But yeah, that sucks that your Pop Culture Crisis is the other show. I remember them talking about that show to me when I was there. And you know, Morgan, they were all cool. They were all cool. They were all fine.
Yeah, and it's like, what's gonna happen if I go there? They think I'm gonna like beat up Cassandra or something. She's the one who's sounding liable. She's the one who did something to me, saying I'm implying that I'm sexually harassing Eliza, saying sexual harassment in reply to someone. Oh, I don't support sexual. You don't need to sexually harass her. It's like, I'm not the one doing things wrong here, and I'm being punished. For what reason?
I think the least she could do is reach out and talk to you right now. Like, reach out, talk to you, and work it out.
She could. Like, she could.
This ain't going away. It's going to be all over the chat on his live stream today.
Listen, I gave Tim Pool my number. I said that Cassandra could also contact me if she needed to. Yep. So I did what I could do.
And that's all you can do. Oh, well. Gary, with your sobriety anniversary and as quitting energy drinks, I have cut all alcohol and energy drinks since January 1st and have lost 13 pounds, 20 more to go. Thank you for your inspiration. Horny Al for $9.99. Ah, well done. Glad. Hey, like promoting health. That's one of the cool things I like about Az talking about like quitting his energy drinks. Melanie Mack, always promoting health. Eric July, always promoting health. It's good. It's better to eat butter than lie about
seed oils
or seed oils.
Yeah, I do it in a different way. I do it in the way of like, I'm like a supplement person. So that's my version of that. And eating clean, like cooking your own food, not having like 10 is a low number. Having 30 different ingredients in what you're eating. It's not good.
It is not. No. And then eating out all the time, which is, I did that a lot in my youth, and or anytime I travel, and then I have to, because I'm old, I have to fast for 2 weeks and I get grumpy. But going to the gym every day, doing something, and you don't have to look like Adonis or Chris Hemsworth or anything. You just go to the gym for minimum half hour, 45 minutes and do something. It's great for your mind. Usually, I don't know if you find this to be true, but like, do you ever just, if you force yourself to do the thing, you end up doing the thing. So if you go to the gym, you're like, oh, I don't want to go today, but you go, even if you tell yourself, oh, even if I only work out 5 minutes, it's fine. But then when you actually go, you don't work out 5 minutes. You actually just end up doing the whole thing. Yep.
That's what I notice is like a really good method of getting things done is like, okay, the expectations are low. Just spend 1 minute reading. And then you'll end up like, once you get past that bar to entry, you'll end up actually just finishing the task or doing more than you set out to do.
Absolutely. It's because it's just defeating your mind. God, it sounds so guru-y and bullshit, but what worked for me was like reprogramming my brain, was fixing my mindset, and I have to do it all the time. So yeah, there's a saying in AA that the meeting you most need to go to is the one you don't want to. And it sounds like, God, that sounds cheesy as shit, but it's true. It's like, I don't want to go to a meeting today. And every time I caught myself saying that, I just listened to my sponsor and like got my keys and got up and left and found a meeting, because that's the one I need to go to, and that treat the gym the same way. And I wouldn't have been sober this long or the time before if I hadn't have mixed in going to the gym with it and just being healthy. And again, it's like, on days some days I took a 5-mile walk. Some days I took a 10-mile bike ride or whatever when I was younger. And like, that was my workout, but like just getting out, and it's great for creativity, cleansing the mind. It's a form of meditation. I can't meditate because I'll fucking fall asleep, but I zone out. I put on some really freaking loud music at the gym, usually, Megadeth or Iron Maiden or Dio. And then I just zone out for half an hour or 45 minutes. And then, and it's great. It's great for my brain. Works every time.
There's something called binaural beats. And for me, that's my version of doing that. If I need to like meditate, I use binaural beats.
And what is that?
It basically is at a certain frequency, and it makes it so that your brain has to change a pattern, because it's supposed to like change it's like a pattern interrupt. So it helps you kind of like change your current line of thinking. So let's say you're in a really bad state and you just keep thinking anxious things, terrible things. Then you play binaural beats and it helps you kind of like break that pattern, because it's a pattern interrupt. So I like that. That's what I do sometimes. Because sometimes just being silent it's really hard, honestly. Like it's something so easy in action, but actually is mentally very difficult. So that's a alternative way to do that. Basically what you just said with the metal.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. So it takes your mind, like, you know, it's not as important if you're lifting, in my opinion, but if you're like running on the treadmill, doing the bike for like an hour, to keep your mind off of that motion completely, you just, for me, it's really fucking loud and fast punk rock or metal. And I just get into it. And I don't think about the running at all. Like I'm done.
And I see people in your chat being like, oh, that's kind of woo-woo, but it's not about the woo aspect. It's about your nervous system. Your nervous system dictates how you're going to operate, and you have to learn how to control your nervous system, or you're gonna have no control over your life. So by doing these meditative things, you gain control over your nervous system. Like another thing you can do is ice your vagus nerve. It's in the middle of your chest. And like, let's say you're having a panic attack, that would, I'm not a doctor, but it would help. Or if you're having anxiety, and it's in that same line. It's not a woo-woo thing. It's actually a physical thing. In reality, your nervous system is a big deal.
Yeah, it is. We get in the woo-woo here anyway. Big time. They were trying to sell you crap they knew about, says Antipathy 17 for $2. Burgermeister Burger for $5. Mindy Kaling forced a kiss on Lee Pace. He played Ronan in the first Guardians. He is also I'm going to put in very gay. Roles reversed, it would be a scandal. Yes. Lee Pace is he was also in The Hobbit. What do you think about Mel Brooks and Hulu finally making History of the World Part 2? 20 years, or no, 5 years too late. I'll check it out because I love Mel Brooks, but I bet you'll be woke. GJJ for $100 says, okay. And that's going to get donated. It's going to get donated. Jackson Kai for $20 for actually helping someone instead of paying Eliza Blue's internet bill. Free Brittany, Jeremy, Twitter, from con artists and liars. I totally agree. Cheers. Thank you. And again, I will be 1,000% transparent with all of this. I will show you the receipt of the donation, as I always do when I donate. I'll put it up on Twitter in the community section, and you can email me if you need to look at it. That's fine with that. Hypno Comics and Bricks for $5. What is best in life? No Velma. I'm going to be watching a lot of it here in a few minutes, actually.
Enjoy.
Yay. I've been clean for 5 years, no NA, exercise, and want to get your recommendation on how what to start working out. My workout regimen started in the joint. So I just started working out, lifting weights, playing racquetball. And then when I got to a place where I could like run laps, I ran laps. That's all I did. So when I got out, that's what I just continued doing. But I started playing racquetball with people to kill time. I had never played racquetball before in my life. And by the time I got out of prison, they had the racquetball tournaments and I was winning every single one. But I was in there for a while, so I had a lot of time to practice. It's a great way to lose weight, especially when you're playing outside and it's like 100 degrees.
Yeah, sports are a good way to work out. I miss figure skating. That was like my form of working out. Now I just am doing stretches. I need to get more active, to be honest, but it's rough. It's actually pretty cold out. That was one of my ways, is like walking around. But now it's like I just got a winter storm warning. So.
Oh yeah, it's cold here too. So if it's cold here, it must be cold up there. Did you see that dude? I'm sorry, a trans person ice skating on Twitter?
Yeah, I hopped back on Simcast. I went to leave and then they put the clip on. I'm like, no, I got to go back on for a second. I just trashed them because I know, because I took figure skating lessons for like a year and a half. And so they can't even do the fundamentals of ice skating. The first thing you need to learn ice skating that they teach you is learning your edges, your outer edge and your inner edge. Because if you don't know that, you can't do anything. You can't spin, you can't go backwards, you can't do crossovers, you can't do anything. This person didn't even know their edges. Like, I'm better at ice skating than them, and I haven't ice skated in months. So I don't know how they got on TV. Like, I thought I was looking at some public skate session because they were falling down. They couldn't even get up. They couldn't do the most basic of basics in ice skating. Something you learn like a month or two into ice skating is your edges.
I wanted to believe in my heart of hearts it was like the best troll ever. But somebody really needs to do that. Somebody needs to like have the bravery to identify as a woman for a little while, to go compete and just get it on a team and roll with it. And then, of course, reveal yourself later. That would be the greatest thing ever. That would take the piss out of so much of this. So I'm looking for some brave soul to do that.
Yeah.
Mads the Catter for $5 says, always happy to help support a good cause. Keep up the great work, Gary. Thank you. Thank you. And again, I'm forgetting the name of Gina's, the one she backed, the charity she backed.
It's our Operation Underground Railroad.
Operation Underground Railroad. Thank you very much. That's the one we're going to use because I've donated to them in the past. Hail Gina Carano. Henry back to play for $9.99. Hail Haru and Fellowship. Just FYI breakdown, the guy who first exposed Eliza Blue has been suspended. Manuel DeFango. Yeah, Chrissy mentioned, Brittany mentioned that. And is given a perma ban per that umbrella guy. Hail that umbrella guy, by the way. Hail Tug. He'll be on top of this stuff too. He's a bulldog on that stuff. Frank, what's up, Frank? Hail Gary and Venti. It's filing cabinet. Just a few bucks for a self-care trip for you guys. Thank you. Oh my God, yes. I'll get a manicure or maybe a pedicure for trafficking. Because you know my nails need to look good for trafficking. Tricky, take my money for a good cause. Thank you for the $50. I appreciate it. Brittany, you're an absolute legend. You too, Gary. Cheers. Keep up the good work. And that's from Ciro for £5 British. You're a legend, Brittany.
Thanks.
Please send half of this super chat to Eliza Blue so she can afford internet and a new phone. Says, think before you sleep for $10. What's up? You didn't have to do that. Great channel, by the way. Go subscribe to it. Good stuff.
Yeah. He did his first stream last night. It went good.
I watched.
Went well.
Yeah, natural. Total natural. You couldn't, like, he's been streaming forever.
There were so many people. I've never seen this in all my years of streaming. See someone get simped for so hard. He has way more. He has more simps than me, but like hands down, his entire chat was just like, "You're so handsome. Create an OnlyFans. Oh my God, bro, look good." Like even the guys were going a little gay for him. Like it was constant the entire stream. Oh my God, you're so handsome. It was funny.
Work it. He's like, yeah, I remember. I don't know about putting my face on camera. It's like, just do it. Look at that. You have a bunch of simps now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, if you need somebody to talk to Az. Like Az has that. He's a huge simp problem too. You think I'm kidding? Look at all the girls that follow Az and like respond to every single thing he says on Twitter. Okay. And he's not here to be easy on the eyes for you. Just wanted to let you know.
So your chat's like, I got news for you.
I got news for you. Yes.
Sean's got to say that next stream when they start calling him hot again.
Tell Brittany I just got suspended off Twitter. Says man. Oh, that's Manuel right there. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here though. Thanks for the $2. Well, is it? And it's perma. That sucks. Totally don't start a new account. That would be wrong.
He's already had to do it so many times.
Mesa Son for $10 says humbling when she was talking about humbling when Eliza Blue was talking about it. You keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means. Nope, she doesn't. Unless you really feel humbled by shaking your own booty, apparently secretly, and then being snuck up on by cameramen with Red Dragon cameras. Like, what's that? Like a red cam? It's like a $50,000 camera. I'm not Seth Rogen, but I have seen Future Man. But have you seen Future Man? I've seen Future Man. Brian Foster. Yeah, it's like The Boys. right? It pretends to make it leans heavily into the woke. It says it doesn't, but especially in that second season, it does. Bane Koof for $10. Eliza has videos pegging Elon. Change my mind. That's what it's sounding like. And I don't think Elon would even care. But I think she would. All right. You want to hang out? I'm going to read some soups, or you are free to
I'm
go.
gonna hop off. I got to prep for this winter warning I just saw. I don't have that much food in the house. So yeah. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for speaking about it. And we'll see how this story develops.
Yeah. And we'll get you back on Friday Night Tights and all kinds of other stuff.
Thank you.
Sooner than later. And we always got your back. Keep up the good work, Brittany.
All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Brittany Venti. Cool beans, that one. It's just you hear this a lot, but I'm super grateful for the people I stream with. I stream with my heroes. I do. It sounds super gay, but just knowing what the landscape is around here on YouTube, and it's really no different than in entertainment or sports or anything with egos. I am very lucky to be with to know some very cool people who are real and who are autistically about the mission, and I love that. Hail autism. It's a beautiful thing. Nate Nightingale for $5. Isn't being excited for Picard season 3 similar to looking forward to colonoscopy? Godspeed, Gary. You'll need it. Yeah, I don't know if the word excitement is not there. It's just not based on all the Kurtzman Trek I've seen. But full transparency, I was invited to the premiere, and it looks like I'll go. That's not going to affect any way, but unless I get a gift basket. If I get a gift basket, then it's an absolute triumph. Okay, fuck it. I'm going to go because I want to talk to some people. I'd love to. I think conversations are great. I was not impressed by the last trailer at all. It still looks very dark. I still see angry 7 of 9, but it's got I'm forgetting his last name, Todd. I always blank on his last name, from 12 Monkeys, but I'm a 12 Monkeys fan. I love the movie. One of the greatest movies, one of the greatest Terry Gilliam movies ever. And I like the series quite a bit. It's really fun. So they've got Todd. I'm going to mess up his last name, so I won't say it, from that in it. And that's cool. But we'll see. I think it's going to be, I mean, if you want to put a gun in my head, I think best case scenario, it's like Andor to some people. Me personally, I thought Andor was boring as shit. It looked all right, but it was boring as shit. It didn't hold my attention. And that has a lot to do with, like, I am just super black-pilled on Star Wars. Just, I am. I wish I wasn't, but I am. Star Trek, I still watch the original series, DS9. Hell, I look at Voyager better now. I've always liked Voyager, unapologetically. I love Voyager. Enterprise, I wasn't super big on, and I'm still not. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. But I reject all Kurtzman Trek. It's fucking terrible. Now, by all accounts, from a lot of people I know, this is different. We'll see. But even if it is too little too late, as I put in a couple of my videos, turning around Doctor Who, I'd love to see them turn around Doctor am I excited about, like, I should be excited as a Doctor Who fan, with Catherine Tate and David Tennant coming back. I should be fucking stoked. This is exactly what Az and I did a Timeless Children live stream. And the minute it started, we're like, this is dead. And here's what you need to do now. Or no, it was after the Flux. After Flux, we're like, okay, Timeless Children killed it, and you obviously aren't going to fix it. So this is what they need to do. They need to bring back David Tennant right now. And we were basing this off of, we just, got off of Spider-Man No Way Home. And that was a huge hit. And it was the first movie to hit $1 billion in 2 fucking years because of the shutdown in woke Hollywood. And we're like, well, why not do the same thing with Doctor Who? Bring back freaking David Tennant. Bring back a familiar, bring back more than one Doctor. You need to do something radical to save your franchise. And they did, kind of. Okay. They got the George Lucas of the modern era back. They got David Tennant back. There's some questionable casting in that in that the 60th anniversary special with Rose. I'm more concerned about her age than anything else. But other than that, people should be stoked about it, and it has energized some. But when I said this a long time ago with the Timeless Children, and I said this with Picard, and I said this with Star Trek Discovery, there's a point of no return that you hit with fandom. And I equate that from selling comics for 10 years. And there's like series that were popular that would be delayed, or they would make a story. One More Day is a great example. There's a point of no return that you hit in storytelling with your hardcore fandom who you need, and you lose a percentage of them, and it just goes into entropy at that point. You just start losing people. And most customers, 99.9% of customers, fans, quietly go away. They just leave. They just stop. They don't tell you they stopped. They don't tell you why they've stopped. They just stopped. And sometimes the creators or the store owner or the publisher don't notice until that 30 days rolls around. You're like, oh, that's down. And then another 30 days rolls around. Oh, that's down another 20%. Oh, shit. We're bleeding. And it's too late to change anything. That's where we're at with Star Trek and Doctor Who. They are clearly doing their best within probably a very woke and constrained landscape to turn things around to make stuff more palatable for everybody without bowing down to what the locals call the chuds or the alt-right. The paying customer that has been called the worst things under the sun over the last few years. And now they're realizing, oh shit, those people we alienated, we actually need them. Well, guess what? You're not going to get them all back. You're not going to get half of them back. Even the most hardcore Doctor Who fans, you're going to get 40% of them back. Most of them have made their peace with it, broken away, go, I'm fine. I can just rewatch the classic series. There's 50 years of stuff to me rewatch. I don't need to spend my time or energy in a series that clearly doesn't like me anymore. And then they, oh, we're sorry, kind of, is not going to work. And not coming out and saying we made mistakes concerning the fandom. The first franchise that figures that out will be the first one that wins. Like, you actually make an effort to make things better and then acknowledge like what went on. We contributed. We did. We called you toxic fans when all you were trying to tell us is you want to keep loving this thing, but you can't right now. And we're past that with a lot of people. And that's not even counting the casual, the normie, who are long gone now. Long gone. And you never needed to change Star Trek or Doctor Who or Marvel Comics or DC Comics to fit some narrative or diversity includes whatever the fuck, because it's always been that way. It's always been. What you needed to do was make Star Trek, Doctor Who, Marvel Comics, and DC Comics. That's all you needed to do. Sawan Pankoli for 200 Indian pesos. U.S. and West is heading into an ideological and woke dystopia, and it's going to bear the downfall. You are one of the few soldiers left fighting for common sense. Soon it will be dystopia. We might go through moments of it, but I don't think it'll be full-blown dystopia. I'm silly. I have too much faith in the common man to like come together with common sense. I saw an article. It came across my phone. It was an interesting article about India, Russia, and some other governments that are turning into, what did they call it? Civilization governments. Never heard that term before. What the fuck is a civilization government? And I think it was a weird way to say nationalism. I have to look into it more. They were talking about the change of politics in Russia, India, not China. It was another country too. I mean, if you're talking about saving our civilization, yeah, sure, civilization politics. Andrew Montepete says, used to love honest trailers, but they went woke too. I've only popped up and seen the Marvel ones where they straight up use bullet points from drinker videos and maybe some of mine. And others, many others. Disparu. Matthew Hammond, what's up? For $5 says Jeremy Hambley was right. We should have voted to keep Elon as CEO of Twitter. Dave Rubin tweeted that after talking with Elon and Twitter engineers that made the code is so bad that their entire site may need to be rewritten. Yeah. And the fact that Dave Rubin's talking to the trust and safety team, and I know people like Dave Rubin, that's cool. I think what we need to be very careful of is putting too much trust into. I think Eliza Blue coming right after Crowder and that whole mess, there is definitely a lesson to be learned with this. Is they all looked very Hollywood, didn't they? All sides. They all looked very, very Hollywood. And that's what people don't want, especially when it comes to news and presentation or opinion like this. I've never said I was a newscaster or anything. I'm just a dummy with a microphone. But people want an authentic opinion. They want authentic news, like Tim Pool. Tim Pool, I don't think that I ride the fence. That guy's not full of shit. He's just not. You might not like how he presents things, but he's not full of shit. And I think people just want people who are not full of shit. Star Wars guy, 1997 for $2. Title of the stream, Dead Kennedys reference? Yes. Woke. I couldn't think of anything. I'm like, well, they're canceling Zachary Levi, canceling Taika Waititi, allies. They're canceling their own allies, and they are woke Hollywood Über alles, which is above all. Above all, that's all it means. Above all. And it comes from California. Über alles, the great Dead Kennedy song that's applicable today. Just take out Jerry Brown's name and put in Gavin Newsom's name. What did that fucking moron just say? That one of the biggest cons is clean and sober. Some people need to self-medicate once in a while. He was, for one, I would just like to let everybody know, Chairman Gavin Newsom went to rehab after he fucked his best friend's wife, who happened to be his campaign manager. His wife can describe Harvey Weinstein's penis perfectly. But he went to rehab after he screwed his best friend's wife. So rehab was, so clean and sober was good for you then. Fuck off, you fucking idiot. God, I hope he runs for president. Whoever runs against him, DeSantis or Trump, will crush him. For one, he doesn't debate people. He's only been in a couple debates from his mayor days. He doesn't debate people because he's a big dummy. Ugh. I can't make that joke. I was going to say my wife. did his hair once back in the day. G stand for £5 British. I know Twitter Blue is $8, but how much is Twitter Blue? BLEU. Does it invoice does it involve doing butt stuff? Oh, don't bring up butt stuff to Yellow Flash. It'll make him blush. Hiram for $5. I suspect Velma is a test to see how well the brainwashing and social conditioning of the public are coming along in order to tweak their techniques. Yeah, maybe it's a huge brainwashing psyop. I just think it's peak woke garbage. But I mean, honestly, it was going to be something I left alone because, like, hey, I am Gen X. I know a lot of people call me a boomer, but I'm Gen X. And Scooby-Doo every Saturday morning, twice. So there was back-to-back. I mean, there was the Scooby-Doo hour, okay? So I watched a lot of fucking Scooby-Doo from the ages of 4 to 12, and then even in my teenage years when I was like, waking and baking, I watched a lot of Scooby-Doo. Big part of my life. But this isn't Scooby-Doo, and I think, I don't know if we know this for a fact, but this was supposed to be a different show that they just latched the IP on, and it clearly looks like that. It looks like the animated Mindy Kaling show working out her personal issues and her hatred for white people and her self-loathing, wishing she was she sounds like she wants to be a pretty blonde girl, like in the worst way, and can't be. And that's where her, she's been called out from all sides on this one, which is good. Honestly, Velma has brought so many people together. We should be grateful. We should be grateful. Now, it might cost like poor Disparu his life, but Disparu, we thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you. F's in the chat for Disparu. HK bass player for $5. When I got out of Cover Your Ass, I went to CYA to this place in Modesto called Velvet Grill and Creamery. Best breakfast ever. So CYA is California Youth Authority, by the way. Side note, we're anti-lockdown, stayed open. Good. Okay. Well, if I'm ever in Modesto again, I will go there because they broke the lockdown. I will frequent and put in your sign. We ignored the lockdown. You put a sign up and I will shop there. You be honest though. Be honest. Don't lie. I will shop there. I'll find reasons to give you money. California Youth Authority, dude, HTK bass player, CYA, dude, is no joke. That is as I call them, baby rattlesnakes. All the young gangsters, all the young criminals, the most dangerous thing. Now, there's this, I don't know if it's actually true, but the baby rattlesnake, we're told this as kids in Southern California because there's rattlesnakes everywhere, is the most dangerous because once it clamps down on you, it just stays on you and you die faster than the other one will just bite you. Well, all the little gangsters in California are like a bunch of baby rattlesnakes. Hang on. I threw my phone over there because it was vibrating and driving me nuts. But where was I? Baby rattlesnakes. That's what I called all of the little gangbangers because they were the most dangerous. They're the ones who won't think about consequences because they're young and they'll unload a gun in you for no reason whatsoever, over disrespect. So yeah, California Youth Authority, no fucking joke, dude. I did not have the pleasure of going there, thankfully. So that's where all the kids in juvie went. Basically, if you were a minor, it was a prison for minors, and it's bad. After writing some of my novel, I've decided to make it a series. I got the first 4 books planned out and a vague outline for each as I'm writing. Star Wars doesn't want to be popular. Fine. I'll eat Disney's lunch. Grizzly, good. That's there. It's prime for the taking. Like even Zack Snyder, real popular amongst the geeks and gamers community, for one. Just wanted to point that out. He even took his Star Wars pitch that they said no to and just did his own thing. And like, I wish everybody would do that. Like Rebel Moon. I'm intrigued about Rebel Moon. We should always be a little skeptical about stuff that goes straight to the streaming services because they'd still rather go to theaters. They have a better chance of making money. But my thread is gone. I got censored, suspended. Manuel, I'm so sorry. Get on Instagram, try it there, make a new account. I'll make some noise on Twitter. I don't know what good it'll do, but I will certainly help. I'll help. I'm trying, free the quartering. Well, he's free now. He freed himself. Free Brittany. Free Manuel. And who else? Did Camelot come back? Did Yellow Flash come back yet? And dude, it's obviously there's something else going on. All right. Because even if her timelines didn't work out, just come out and be honest. If you were trafficked, be honest about it. And people will forgive you. It's a horrible thing that these young women have to go through, that they feel they need to go through, even if she was in that interview with the prostitute, the one she was interviewing. I loved the woman who was interviewing because she cut her off and said, listen, I was a hooker. I took the money. I did it. It was my decision. I'm like, woo. I like that. That was cool. That's all she needs to do. That's all she needs to do. Just own that shit. And people dude, America freaking loves a redemption arc. They love it. They live for that shit. But taking people out, that doesn't help. When has it helped? Ever? Well, except if you're the U.S. government. Naso Kashiv for 5 Belgian pesos. I was right. There almost was a transgender Captain Caveman in Velma. Gary, what is your favorite old school low key character? Black Tom Cassidy is mine. Low key character? Like in as far as comic books or like obscure? Is that what you're talking about? I was always before Space Ghost Coast to Coast, I was a huge Space Ghost fan. I thought that was the coolest costume, the coolest idea. And Joe Kelly wrote a mini series for DC, which was he had a Punisher-like origin. It's fucking great. It is so good. It's a 4-issue miniseries of Space Ghost, and it's done completely Alex Ross covers, and it's totally serious, and it's brutal, and it's good. It's one of my favorite comics. God, I sold the shit out of that in my store because I'm like, what the fuck? Alex Ross and Space Ghost? And I was just, I didn't know what was going on. And I read it and I was like blown away. And I only ordered of the number 1. I think I only ordered 10. And I was able to get it before everybody else got hot on it. And I reordered like 50. I'm like, oh, this is going to sell. I'm going to sell the shit out of this comic. And I did. It was so good. Manowar 665, the neighbor of the beast. 1 OGL 1.2 Battle 1. Far from winning the war, black-pilled complacency is not a flavor favored by victorious conquerors. Regarding weasels of the coast and has broken, don't believe them, don't trust them. D&D be gone. Stop the sub. Open D&D. Boycott D&D movie. I don't think anybody will have a problem boycotting the D&D movie. Man of War 665, the neighbor of the beast, the neighbor of the beast. Yeah, blackpilling star. I hate blackpilling anything, but I can't pretend to give a fuck. Obi-Wan came along, and I think there was a very valuable lesson, the overall cultural lesson to learn from such shit with Obi-Wan was the preemptive strike on the fans, which was just obvious. And the actress, who I'm not going to totally blame, right, admitted that Disney, the one who played Reva, admitted that Disney approached her prior to the show coming out, telling her that she was going to get attacked. And you know why she was going to get attacked? Because Disney was going to gaslight the audience. The worst she would have heard is, oh, her performance kind of sucks. And it did. What do you want? You not want to say that? People work so hard on these shows. Did the paycheck cash? The paycheck cashed. I don't give a shit. I work hard on shit too. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I get criticized every day. It's fine. People work hard on stuff. I respect. It's great. Go work hard. But it's kind of like it's kind of like thinking you're an alpha male when you're really not. Are you working hard, or you just think you're working hard? For one, you're making pretend. And I understand that there's a huge coordinating effort in making art, and when it's great, it's great. But you're not going to any salt mines. Okay, stop it. Jake Benoist, hi. Oh, I can't eat that on a live stream. It'll be all over my beard. Here, bring it here though. Thanks for bringing yours. Look at she made me this healthy, gay. Look at that, super healthy, gay. But I'll get my beard. Thanks, babe. It's I had dinner with Stuttering Craig the other night, and I'm like super conscious. I have to like get 50 napkins, right? Because I got the beard, right? So you're eating a hamburger and you're like, I don't know where anything is right now. So you just get the, you know, a little wet nap. Yeah, I can't eat on the stream. Jake Benoist for $4.99. Have you ever thought about having Angry Joe on FNT? Oh, I read. Did you? Oh, this was in the Super Chat Square Up. Jake, you asked this. That's going to be in the Square Up. I'm like, I could have sworn I've answered this question. I haven't thought about it, but I would. Absolutely. The reason I haven't thought about it is because like he's got a huge channel. I don't think he'd do it. I don't know. I don't want to judge the guy. I don't know, you know. But sure. I think there'd be some fun debates. Fellow Texan with many differing opinions to the fellowship. Think there will be some good debate. Yeah. We can reach out to him. Don't get your hopes up, but we can reach out to him. Why not? Will of the fans for 250 Indian pesos. Tenet wakes up next to Queen Elizabeth the First and goes, "Wow, I'm never eating what is it? Mancunian fever cheese before bed again. Hang on, didn't I become an angry Scotsman? What timeline is this? Yeah, that would work. That would work for me. Mancunian." Gary, I tried watching Doctor Who with Capaldi. I got bored. So now I'm watching the X-Files, now on to season 2. When does it start to suck? The X-Files? Season 6. There's good episodes after that, even when they revived it in a couple of years ago. There's like Mr. Here, what's the great episode title that came out? It's Mr. Chuckleteeth. Mr. Chuckleteeth, right? The Mr. Chuckleteeth episode from the very last season they just did is fucking great. It is great. Creepy as fuck. Good episode. But then like the lore episodes, the legacy episodes in like shit. Like utter shit. And it's just on a cliffhanger. Do you want me to spoil the end for you? Like their kid dies. And it's just that's where it ends. And they bring back the smoking man too. And it was just like, oh God. Hail Gary and Brittany. Zuby did what you were talking about. Identified as a woman, competed in Deadline, crushed the record for women, then said, okay, I'm a guy again. Yeah, but I wanted to, and I was great, but I think I want to take it one step forward. Think Alex Stein. I want you to get all dressed up and skate like that guy. And I thought that's why I'm like, this has got to be a troll. And if it is, oh my God, it's beautiful. But even if it inspires a troll like that, just to make it look absurd, because we're just putting a mirror up to these people. They are trying like hell to get us to say 2 + 2 = 5. And we're just not going to fucking do it. So a lot of people are. A lot of people are. Oh, sure, man could get pregnant. No, they can't. No, they can't. I don't care how it doesn't negate your existence. I don't care what scientific loopholes and all the drugs you have to. It's not. I mean, for one, you're going to be hooked on drugs your entire life. You don't think that's the motivation of the companies and the investors and the medical companies, that they're going to hook entire generations on drugs some more, like, but ones that they can absolutely control until there's a black market for it, which there already is. Yeah. Not going to do it. I loved the original series when I was a kid too young to see the brainwashing and propaganda. I was meh with TNG and low DS9 for blatant racism, says Hiram for $5. Wow. Okay. I like DS9. I know what Roddenberry's, like, his politics were, but especially in DS9, they explored a lot of things, kind of like they did in Battlestar. You know what side of the aisle they were on, but they explored a lot of things. And, for one, Battlestar is a great example. Their Che Guevara was a fucking asshole and got executed in the end. So yeah, it was, when I was a kid, I didn't notice that Star Trek was just kind of weird and kind of scary when you're like 5. But, no, man, I love Star Trek. Sure, there was allegory, but there was also like a lot of great characters. It's a character-driven show. Especially the original series that had the best characters, the best cast by far, with the best captain, William Shatner. Good reminder to never trust anyone with unnatural, colorful hair. Really shows how Eliza Blue Cheese is a leftist and how she's changing definitions. Educated Viking Streamlabs for $10. Yeah, I guess she was a Bernie supporter, but there's nothing wrong with like changing your mind over like 5 or 6 years. I'm fine with that and becoming. I don't even know she's a free speech advocate. I don't know if she's on the right or supports Trump or DeSantis, right? I don't know that, but I know she was a Bernie supporter. Although I know a lot of people were. I never was. As bad as I am at math, I'm better than Bernie. I understand like how things get paid for and how they don't get paid for and how societies collapse. And they generally collapse under collectivism that turn into authoritarian dictatorships. Hail Nerdrotic and Annie Wersh. Annie Wershing has passed away, so rest in peace. She played the Borg Queen in Star Trek Picard Season 2. She was also in 24. That's where I mainly remember her from, is 24. She was also in Timeless, and she was 45. She has 3 boys, and she passed away from cancer. It's very sad. There is a GoFundMe. Who put it up? Dana Delaney. It was the director from the Orville who retweeted that, who I follow. If you want to support, I mean, 3 young kids, one's 12, 9, and 4. Fuck cancer. Iron Oxide for $5. She reminds me of someone faking cancer and being a combat vet for attention and profit. Stolen valor. Little stolen valor there, huh? You think? That's the vibe I get too. And none of this. all she had to do was, with all due respect to my friend Brittany, ignore her. Dude, yeah, taking him out was just the worst move possible. I get, like, there's parts of my past that I'm not going to ever talk to people about, ever. I talked about most of it. That's good enough. You get the idea. You know, but there's like personal stuff I get, you know, like probably, you know, if she really was abused by a pimp or something like that, somebody doesn't want to go over that again and again and again, but nobody's asking for details on stuff like that. They're just asking for clarification on a timeline. And I hope we get it. It doesn't look like we're going to get it. And as much as I support the quartering and Brittany and everybody involved, with Elon in her back pocket, I just don't see them winning. But I hope I'm wrong. But I see Eliza Blue losing over the long period of time. She's going to start getting ghosted. Usagi Akimbo for $5. I predict Scooby-Doo will have one of those brain implants and that he will be the explanation of how/why he talks. Your thoughts, Gary? Yes, they are hinting to that heavily, and they showed like an original Shaggy, not Norville, the effeminate, unthreatening black male stereotype that Hollywood puts in because they're racist and they're scared to death of black people. So they can't portray them as humans. It's really fucking horrible. And we've been talking about it for a long time, but Norville, they had the other Shaggy who gets his brain tested by the strong female scientist of color. Start using their language more. It just sounds, it's just so funny. Accuse your enemy of what you are doing. That's always what's going on. So the marketing department's got savvy back a few years ago. They're like, hey, if we call them racists and Nazis, they'll spend their time defending themselves, and that will make our garbage critic proof. And it worked for a couple of years because people hate, I don't like being called that. Do you like being called that? I don't like being called that. But then, like all Hollywood things where trends go to die, they did it too much. They overplayed their hand, and now they're fucked. And I'm here for it. Brittany, vaginal maneuvers can be dangerous. We use them pre-hospital to try and stop supraventricular. Oh my God. Why are you putting medical terms in here, Ronin Medic 76? Oh my God, help me, X-ray girl. You work in a hospital. I can't hear you. Oh, well. She's here, but I can't hear
her. Sorry. Vagal maneuvers can be dangerous. We can use them pre-hospital to try and stop supraventricular tachycardia. Be careful of those. This super chat.
I was ever going to say that without giving myself a stroke.
To get Gary to say those words.
No. I might not. I wouldn't have the use of my tongue for like the next week. I'd have sprained it.
It was a good effort. It was a good effort.
Thank you. I appreciate your help. You know, she's called X-ray girl. It's not because she can see through your clothes, although she can. She actually does X-rays. Any update on Zack Snyder moving forward with movifying the Cobalt 60 comics? Awesome show as ever. Thank you. I Killed Fritz for $15. I haven't heard. He's been like, I guess, knee deep in Rebel Moon. It's now going to be 2 parts. I'd be interested in seeing that. I like some of Zack's work, and I hate some of Zack's work. That Army of the Dead was like, dude, I get it, man. You're a nerd for cameras. You're like, we've got this special camera and this special Sony lens that was only made in the 70s that was partially broken that makes everything fucking blurry. Okay, I get it. You're an artiste, but everything was fucking blurry. And even that last scene in the Snyder Cut You could see that's what he was like obsessed with that. It's like, bro, we need to see the shit. Okay. I get yeah, I wasn't impressed with that. I fucking hate Sucker Punch. I hate Sucker Punch. I like 300. Love The Watchmen. Love it. Like Dawn of the Dead. Thought it was pretty good. But he's that whole thing that went down with Geeks and Gamers. I think Jeremy already said it publicly, so I think it's okay now. And if he didn't, then I'm sorry for what I'm about to say. Zack Snyder did not mean to associate the Stop the Asian Hate with Geeks and Gamers and stuff. That was and he said that. And I think pretty much everybody thought that, but he couldn't come back and clarify it because of all the bullshit that he created, by the way, that he didn't need to say anything. It was a simple mistake done behind the scenes. It was a simple mistake. So Jeremy, like a good leader, took all the responsibility for that, but it was just a poorly phrased statement that a lot of people ran with that Zach didn't mean to say. But he didn't come out and clarify and didn't come out and apologize. And Jeremy didn't say anything for the right reason. He's like, well, if he's not going to come out and say it, it's just going to sound like me saying it, and it's not good enough. It was Zack Snyder who needed to come out and clarify that statement and apologize to the people who fucking donated. And he didn't. And he didn't because he was worried that Warner Brothers would kill his movie. He was worried about his boss. And now it's all water in the bridge. It doesn't matter. And James Gunn runs DC now. Brightest day for $5. Third largest egg farm in the U.S. just burned up less than half a mile away from me. You can't convince some people there's a problem. Interesting times. No, they push boundaries. They're like, what can we get away with? All those food processing plants burning up. Conspiracy theory. Egg shortage, one of the biggest egg. How are these things catching on fire? Oh, because people are setting them on fire, in my opinion. Is it Antifa? Is it Antifa paid by our government? I don't know. I don't know anything. Those are conspiracy theories, and you would be crazy to believe them. Enoch Maman, abuser of Streamlabs, for $10. Eliza Blue is 42. Hey, that rhymed. Mindy is 41. Clearly, the problem is women being in their 40s. Damn it, women. Stop turning 40. Just say you're 20. Life will be better for all of us that way. I mean, Eliza looks great for 42. If that's her age. We don't know what her age is. We have no idea. We don't know her name. Clearly, she likes being in the limelight. She really likes getting her interviews and being flown out to events and being paid for speaking engagements, taking awards for a work she might not have done. That's the one thing I haven't, where are the examples of her advocacy other than talking about it? And bringing attention to it is great. We want that. We like that. Yes, we do. But if she is a fraud, and that's a big if she is a fraud, then she damages this even more. It's like the false accuser. There's no difference with the Me Too shit. There was the legit stuff that happened, and it fell apart because a bunch of opportunistic, manipulative biatches, most of which still work in Hollywood today, who didn't say anything about Harvey Weinstein and knew about it, used it to further their careers and ruined people's lives for it and slept like babies afterwards. That's what ruined their movement. This is the exact same thing. Adam Warlock for 30 shekels. I will command all of your kids to meditate in school. Your kids will meditate. Your kids will meditate in school. California, Uber Alice. Mellow out or you will pay. Mellow out or you will pay. Don't feed the ducks. Put it on a good cause. Also, else Eisenhorn is a must. All right, Cyril. Thank you. And again, every super chat minus the 30% and 100% of the donations, because YouTube doesn't get any of those, are going to go to Operation Underground. Operation Underground within 1 week of this very podcast, which will be re-uploaded on Nerdrotic Live. You will see on the community section of Nerdrotic Live, Nerdrotic, and Twitter the donation. And I will match it. I will fucking match it. AWM Fishing for $10. I bet Elon did buy her escort service in the past and now has to do her bidding. I have never heard of her before Elon buying Twitter. She's probably has something on him. Yeah. And again, like if you're part of an escort service, I think that would help the trafficking narrative. Because it's technically it is not trafficking, but I think once women get in these situations, they're hooked on drugs, they're manipulated through drugs. I think stopping that would be great. I think that's actually a fantastic thing to stop. You know, get these women sober, get them out of there, show them that they can improve their lives. And live full lives, because as we all know, you're not going to live one being an escort and high. Ozzy's Robots for $5. Hey, Gary, if you ever want to talk pharma HMU, spent 20 years in and fighting them. Fuck Pfizer. He says, fuck Pfizer. Don't forget, if you're ever in Jackson, Florida, stop by my museum. Oh, I will. And I want to. We'll be in Florida again soon, sooner than later. I'm fully aware of like what Pfizer has done over the last 20 years with Suboxone, medicating both sides of addiction, basically profiteering off of both sides of addiction. Crooked doctors everywhere. Or yeah, they're crooked. They're all fucking crooked. All the ones who took a bunch of money to prescribe this stuff, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were fucking doing. To Haru for $5. Hi, Gary. Any advice on leaving California? Bay Area is driving me insane, but I've lived here all my life and don't know what to do or where to go. That's always a tough one. So when I left San Diego to go to the Bay Area, I've never lived anywhere else. I just did it, and quite frankly, had to get used to it. It took me a while. But you're part of that, the Bay Area, that's big city, urban life. I would try something a little. I mean, if you're tired of the rat race, just, you can get a job in a medium-sized city that does not have that kind of crime. It might not have the best weather in the world. Texas gets hot. It does. But there's a lot of like medium-sized and little towns here that are very slow. They're not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's chill. It's pretty chill. Florida. I'd say if you want to stay in California, at least just move down to SoCal, move down to San Diego. It's just as expensive as the Bay Area. It's just a lot nicer. Better weather, a lot nicer, a lot less crime. A lot less crime. If you don't want to leave California, maybe do a 2-phase change. Bay Area though, man. It's East Bay. Well, it depends on where you live in East Bay. East Bay is not so good. Richmond, Oakland, fucking shitholes. Iron Age Creative for $15 on the Streamlabs side. The reason leftists try to sexualize everything is because leftists have no real sex. Oh, ouch. You had to go there. It's true though. Well, they don't want to have sex. You know what an orgasm is for a leftist? Just have them read a book about Nixon's resignation or Watergate, and they'll just jizz in their own pants. That's That's where they get, or just bring up Trump, you know. That's how they feed the ducks. They're all repressed weirdos who fantasize about sex constantly because they aren't in the healthiest relationships with good quality sex. Freaks. Yeah, that was always my joke. You want to see a boomer get off, just say Watergate. That's their love language. Watergate. Nixon resignation. They just think it's the greatest thing. And it was the great Benny Johnson. Since Crowder hasn't been on in the morning, I watch Benny every morning. Watch my buddy Benny. But he broke down, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was him that broke down like Woodward and Bernstein, and one of them was a CIA asset. Weird. Eddie Brock, 9043. Oh, no, it was Tucker. But Benny was playing Tucker. Okay. It was like Inception, but Benny was playing Tucker. Thoughts on The Last of Us episode 3. Not happy how they changed Bill's role in the show, and the show he doesn't get to meet Ellie and Joel just as it was in the game. That episode, okay, I never played the game. Don't know what happened. I thought the episode was boring. I know everybody's like, oh my God, it's showed a LGBTQ plus relationship for the 90th time this year. Okay. I thought it was boring. I thought it slowed the show down. I know this is a popular character in the book. I like Nick Offerman. I think it would have been a good character to keep. Sorry, spoilers. They're not keeping him for some reason. So who here watched Westworld season 2? So it reminded me a lot, but not as well done, of what they did in Westworld season 2 with the Native American. They did a whole side story with the Native American. That was actually, it was the best episode of the series because it was like completely outside of the series. That had really nothing to do with the entire show, the rest of it. They just wanted to we need to show the Native American perspective in Westworld. Why? It's a fake land or whatever. But that being said, the actor did a great job. I thought the episode was fine, right? But it had nothing to do with the overall story except for running into a fake heaven at the end, which was fucking stupid and it was bad. But it reminded me of that. It reminded me we are now this episode is now sponsored by ESG. Here we go. And it might have been nice and it wasn't poorly acted or anything. I just found it really boring. And that's somebody who's I have no connection to the characters through the game or anything. I think maybe the people from the game will feel differently about it. That's fine. But I thought the episode was a major step back. I liked the first 2. Did not like the third. 4 out of 10. I was just like, wow, this wasted a bunch of time. But I mean, we also got confirmation that Abby is coming. Abby is coming. Abby smash. So you're all watching a train wreck right now. You know that. We're all watching a train wreck. Unless they change it, unless they make the big change. Yes, waiting for the right feeling to go to the gym to putting as the cart before the horse. Go to the gym and good feelings will come afterwards. Discipline comes for all things hard. Hail Nerdrotic. And admin, thank you for the $14.99 Australian. And discipline is hard. It is. It's got to be learned. But gym can become a habit, so much so that if you miss it, you're cranky and stuff. That's the best habit in the world. Get addicted to the gym. It's fine. It's okay. Gary Zuby, who we've had on Friday Night Tights, love Zuby, holds the woman's deadlift record. Hail to the fellowship. Thanks for the laughs while I fight the evil eye, declares Junjin for $5. Keep fighting the evil eye. Jacob for $2. Gary, pick up where CFAPs left off. I might. I mean, I'm trying. I say CFAPs. That's not how you say it. He always got mad when it's CF apps 7865. It's Chuck. He was an ancient civilization YouTuber, really good YouTuber. Really good to listen to, had a good voice for YouTube, passed away a little over a year ago from a heart attack. And it was very sad. It was very sad because I've been listening to that guy for years. Nobody can replace Chuck, but I will try to pick up where he left off. Forbidden Frontier every Sunday, 5 p.m. Central now. It's Adam Krigler, yours truly, and Quarterback Garrett talking about ancient civilizations, all Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson kind of stuff. Katya Tavagia for $10. My goal is to make something so bad I'll get roasted by Disarm. Hey, can we nerds band together and buy the movie rights to an IP to protect it from the woke weirdos? I don't know. It depends. I wish we could have done that for like The Crow. There might be some like, I don't know, Flash Gordon because that's anybody can make a Flash Gordon movie now. Zorro, too late for that. They're doing a female Zorro. It's not a bad idea. We'd have to treat I would love for Star Wars to be like the Green Bay Packers. Star Wars and Star Trek, which are fan-owned, resident-owned. You got stock in it. And I like the Green Bay Packers style of ownership. I think that would be fun. Not going to happen. Once a company gets its claws into an IP, they don't let it go, even if they're not making it. Straczynski had a huge rant on this when he was talking about B5. Project Eggroll has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Cheers. Mike Jones for $5. What do you think about Mel Brooks and Hulu finally making? Oh, I read that one already. I think I'm not excited about it. I love Mel. Mel's a legend. Nothing will change. Like one of the greatest comedians ever. One of the greatest comedic directors ever. One of the greatest comedic writers ever. Nothing like truly unique. Huge talent. Love that guy. Made me laugh my ass off when I was a kid. Love Mel Brooks. Here we go.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Love that line. All right. Got a few more, then we're out of here. Christian Wolf for $10. Warhammer 40K will help heal those Star Wars, Star Trek wounds. I hope so. It's so good and does not hold back. Very metal, which I like. Speaking of that, do you have any good metal suggestions for a workout? Oh, it's I'm not into the new metal. I'm just like in the classic metal. But anything that's fast like works for me. And it depends on my mood, but Am I Evil is one of the best songs, or best for cardio, for running. Am I Evil? So where's my place? Am I Evil? Hangar 18 by Megadeth. Stand Up and Shout, Dio. This won't be metal, but Geek USA by Smashing Pumpkins. Good fucking fast song. And then like old AC/DC, dude, Whole Lot of Rosie is just the shit. It just builds up to this awesome crescendo of like madness that I love. Yeah, just really basic old class stuff that's fucking fast. If it's fast, it goes. It depends on the mood. I'll throw on some Slayer. Manowar is really good. Wheels of Fire. Fuck, that song rocks. Yeah. Or I could just listen to Dio all damn day. Dude was the GOAT. The Grizzly for $10. That's what's on my playlist right now. So I just read off what's on my playlist, and then there's one more. Some Danzig off of Lucifuge 2. Who said Manowar? I did. Oh, I have listened to this this really gay Brazilian guy named Dan Vasque in the gym too. He has man buns, but voice of an angel. We love you, Dan. We love you, Dan. I said Manowar. But hail Dan Vasque. He's an up and coming YouTuber. You might want to go subscribe to his channel. Follow him on Twitter if he doesn't get suspended again. Last one, Dead Space 2023 is just as good as better if some spots as the original 08 game. Just finished my first run, and I'm gonna go in New Game Plus. Highly recommend to any horror fan. Oh, awesome. Good. I heard a lot of people have been liking it. I'm gonna do Witcher 3, I think, this week. It depends on how my Velma video goes and if there's any other things that come up. Champagne Sumo for $9.99. Just wanted to say thanks. Hey, thank you. Cheers. Thanks for being here. I should be thanking you a lot. Thundercats ho for 2 British pounds. Pinching your sack wakes you up too. That's not something I do. I'll drink a cup of coffee rather than pinch my sack. I don't know. I'm good. Maybe jump in a cold tub, but not pinch my sack. I mean, we've all done it accidentally. That fucking zipper. Woo! Marvel Mind Trick for £1.79. Nice link up. Cheers. Dad's Den of Pop Culture for $5. In her defense, I was pretty excited the first time I had my picture taken with a Polaroid camera. They're like magic. Invite Defango, who just got his account nuked. If we talk about it again, we will. We will. Damaj for $5. What's up, Damaj? When you tear out a man's tongue, you are not proving him a liar. You're telling the world you're afraid of what he might say. Eliza seems very afraid. Yep. Tyrion Lannister. My Stick Neon for $2. Gary owns a coffee company, still drinks Starbucks. I don't own a coffee company. I am sponsored by Geek Grind, but I drink tons of other coffee, okay? It's not exclusive. I mostly drink Geek Grind. It's like 85% Geek Grind. I drink a lot of coffee. Maybe one of these days. No, I'm not. I'm just not. Everything is not content. I'm not going to document everything. I'm not going to stream myself in the bathroom. Everything is not content. Okay. Ian Hopkins for $5. My morning alarm is the same tone. I thought I was just dreamed an entire day and was about to wake up late. How do you know you haven't? Kino Reviews for $5. Hail, James Gunn and Peter Safran will reveal portions of the DCU slate tomorrow. Is it too little too late? Your thoughts? Maybe. Well, it depends. Might have to do that live. Are they live streaming it? I might have. Oh, and we'll have a real BBC. So there it is there. We'll be talking about it on Az's channel next week. Dapper Nerf Herder for $5. I have been watching the old Justice League cartoons again, and I'm really getting into the question. The question is great in those, by the way. Have you do you have any comic recommendations for him? Yeah, the 80s question book is fucking brilliant. Get into the 80s stuff. I mean, the question is basically, the Shadow, but he's still cool. I Miss You and Overlord DVD. Have any plans to do it again? Todd Vanderseas for $4.99. You never know what happens in the future. You'll never know. I never say never. Right now, I'm streaming with the people I'm streaming with, and that's all the time I have. But dude, things change all the time. She's just a witch without a broomstick, says Lake B. Self-reassuring title, $4.99. First super chat here. Ooh. I worked on a few Marvel shows. I used to watch FNT and your Nooners on the set to Rebel. Holy shit. I'd say more, but I'm afraid of those NDAs. Oh shit. Well, self-reassuring title. We could talk I've got NDAs too for the Orville. I think I can talk about it now, though, seeing that you saw the season, which I liked. That was good. I like season 1 and 2 better. But I know how how much money they put in that third season, and it's not canceled yet. I hope it isn't. I hope it isn't. You know, Seth MacFarlane, you're not going to agree with a lot of his politics. I certainly don't. Never unfollowed me, talked to me, at least had an open dialogue. That's all you can ask for. Talking and drawing with Shane Davis for $2. Awesome Cyclops figure. I freaking love that, man. I want them to make more comic book style figures. The Wolverine one, I haven't gotten it yet. I'm gonna get soon. But the Brown Gaijin. What's up, Shane Davis? Are you gonna sue Disney? Are you gonna sue Disney? I'm rooting for you, man. Fuck them. Bald Barian for $1.99. Am I evil is about Elric. Hail Diamond Head. Yeah, Diamond Head. I love the Diamond Head version. I do. I just think the Metallica version a little faster. That's all. Damn good version. Fucking Elric. Love Elric. Lake B for $5. Motorhead forever. Yes, of course. Lemmy is always on the list. Lemmy and Danzig are in heavy rotation in my life for the last 30 years. When is the Vegas meetup? Asked Fuzzy for $2. It is. I'll tell you right now. February. No, sorry, what did I say? February. Stop. Scratch that.
August. No, sorry, April 26th.
April 26th. Wednesday, April 26th. I'm going to be there from the 24th. Thank you, X-Ray. X-Ray Goo. 24th through 29th. That's CinemaCon. CinemaCon goes from the Monday to Thursday, I believe. 24th, 27th. I don't even know if I'll go to CinemaCon, but it's there. There'll be other YouTubers there. But it's gonna be at the Millennium Fandom Bar, like it always is. We have the place to ourselves. It's all ours. And it's the same as last time. It starts at a certain time. We'll have some drink tickets for you. We'll have some food tickets. We're going to get some food trucks there. So we're throwing you a little party as a thank you for supporting us. I wish I could fly you. I wish I had Mr. Beast money and I could just fly y'all out, but I don't. But anyway, you get out there, the party will be free. You will not be charged any tickets. Again, first 2 rounds will be on us. And I don't even drink. And we'll get you some tacos and some food from a food truck. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. And again, I'm going to be there all week. And the Geeks and Gamers folks will be there. Most of them. I don't think Odin's going to be there. And we'll do Friday Night Tights from the Sticky Paws studio again. And it'll be fun. So join us. We'll have art and all the information ready soon, but that's when it is, late April. I will be in San Diego on the 24th and 25th. Chrissy Mayer's doing a show off Claremont Mesa Boulevard, which is right across the freeway from Southern California Comics. I'm so excited about that. So I'll be there with Mrs. Nerdrotic. I think Chris Gore is going to join us. Paulie will be down there. The Latino Slant, and many others. So that'll be fun. All right. I'm going to do a couple hours. Thanks again for to Brittany for coming on. We love Brittany Venti. She is a cool person. Jens Anderson of the Tori for 20 Swedish krona. Hope you keep up with Monday Nooners. You are a light. Oh, we are. I don't think they're going to be this long, but yes, the Monday Nooners are back, and it's because X-Ray Girl is here to help me, which it helps immensely. And they'll mostly be solo. I'll bring people on once in a while. We'll probably bring Nina Infinity on to one soon. Yeah. Tomorrow I'll be on the Real BBC on Az's channel. at 12 Central. And I'm sure we'll talk about James Gunn and DCU and Kevin Feige's Cope, all that fun stuff. Who do we have on Friday Night Tights? Oh, we have, unless I say it wrong, just correct me, X-Ray Girl. We have Amla, right? From Unapologetic.
No, Melanie Mack. And then next week we have Amala.
Sorry, Melanie. It's right over poor Melanie. We just got her 100,000 on Melanie Mack Go Bone. So we got Melanie Mack. It was a good week to have Melanie on. It's a damn good week because they're destroying Tomb Raider. So I want to hear her talk about it. Yeah. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to do a Tomb Raider cinematic universe with shows and films. And the first person I thought of was Melanie. Poor Melanie. Any chance of bringing Vara Dark on FNT? Yeah. Master Farce Theater. Sure. She's cool. I met her briefly. So Melanie Mack on Friday Night Tights. And I'm going to make a Velma video. What else am I doing? Oh, I have no idea, but I'm sure I'll be busy. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you, X-Ray Girl, for producing again. Thank you, Brittany Venti. Glad to see Jeremy from the Quartering is back on Twitter, and we'll see what happens with the Eliza Blue stuff. And I know that's not normal fare for my channel, but I got Brittany's back. So, hail, God bless, and the history part 2 looks bad. It does. NWA Ants. Thanks for being a member in the Radicalized section for 5 months. All right, this will be on Nerdrotic Live in a couple of hours, or you can just hang on to the link. I just unlist it, but if you're still watching, just hang on to the link. But it will be taken off the channel for algorithmic reasons. And yeah, thanks again. We'll see you all next time. Ciao. You want to say goodbye, X-Ray Girl?
Bye.